16th, 17th, and 18th. Learn more at NebraskaDeerAndGameExpo.com and find them on Facebook. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th in Lincoln.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating
and Electrical.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart-Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Just got new tires put on my car today.
You did? I did see you leave the office.
I didn't need to. Graham Tire picked up my car this morning and dropped it back off and they were done.
You're kidding. How'd you get that kind of service?
That's just what they do at Graham Tire.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln. This is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln, Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped and picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black Shirts answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Hour one of Old School is sponsored by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome in. It is Old School here on The Ticket. Austin Orman here, Jay Foreman there. Appreciate everyone tuned in for the show, brought to you as always by Graham Tire Company. They're celebrating 75 years of serving the Midwest. More than just tires, they do all kinds of car and light truck repairs too. From brakes to oil changes, trust Graham Tire for service you can count on. Graham Tire, getting you to the places that matter most. Jay, what a day in sports. We got a lot to get to.
Man, listen, man. This is how many people are in Lincoln? Text line. How many people are in Lincoln?
Like what?
220?
I think it's over that, like 275 now, maybe?
275? That's a small little town. That's like Bloomington or something.
No, Lincoln is, per the 2024 census estimate, around 300 grand.
Yeah. So that's like yeah, it's a nice little city, but dang.
Little big town or big little town?
Man, can we just have a drama-free off season?
Are you kidding me? Where's the fun in that?
Yeah. We're doing great things with the basketball team, volleyball team, and the football team. I got something going on. Let alone last year, they was on the internet, like my mom likes to say.
Big B does confirm that Lincoln is over 300,000. That's less than minimum salary in a lot of leagues, but that's okay. Eric says, my man, part-time Jay. Eric was giving you some crap yesterday, Jay, but we're going to let that slide. Let's get into the drama.
You
Jay.
did it while I was gone, though.
Yeah, well, that's the only way Eric would do it. So let's get into the drama, Jay. Some new comments in the last hour and a half or so from Nebraska head coach Matt Rule regarding special teams coordinator Mike Eckler. He taught us a great system of special teams. He taught a great teaching progression. I hope Mike's back. I loved working with him. I loved working with him. If a team pursues him and he decides to leave.
Hold on. Say that again.
That again.
Die.
I hope Mike's back. I loved working with him. If a team pursues him and he decides to leave, I do have the guys in the system in place, though, to just do it from within and continue what we did last year. Mike's a great coach. Hope he's a Husker. I brought him here to be here a long time, but you know what? Just like there's a transfer portal for players, coaches also have that same right.
I mean, he's not lying. There's a lot of movement all the time in coaches. I mean, that's how he got here. I mean, obviously it wasn't by his own doing, but I mean, it happens. So it's tough. And nothing's like factual yet. So, you really just always, obviously, look, there is a little bit of smoke there, obviously, for him to be asked about it, him to comment about it, I'm sure.
Rule said he offered him a big extension as well.
Yeah. Which is, I don't know. I mean, I guess,
whatever.
I guess if you do get another job opportunity, you probably, the market dictates that. I would question why, I don't know how long his original contract was when he came from Tennessee, but really after a year. But if you want to keep him, somebody else, then you do, give him a little pay bump or offer him a pay bump. Time will tell. Like for me, I'm sure they got buyouts in there and all that stuff, and so that kind of makes it a little bit tricky. I just always go back to, I remember when Mickey Joseph was coming up here from LSU. It was kind of a done deal, but then you had to deal with the whole buyout thing. So maybe that's what's happening, or maybe it's, he's sitting on deal from Nebraska and potential deal from another university, and he hasn't came to his decision, or it was never, option for him to leave. So you just never know. But obviously there's a little bit of meat on that bone, or probably a lot of meat on the bone. And, Coach Eckler has done a really good job coming in here and, changing the landscape of special teams. So he's a good coach. He's coached other positions. I remember when he was a new coach at Nebraska, actually under Bo, and just met him a little bit, talked to him a little bit. And I remember telling him, like, hey, man, Philip Dillard was playing like on the line, Sam linebacker. And I was like, put him in the middle, see if he can figure it out. And he's open to suggestions. So it lets me know as a young coach and obviously as a veteran coach that, he's obviously trying to get everybody in the best position possible. And that's why he's been successful, both as a position coach at times and obviously more importantly as a special teams coach. And, whatever it is that he's looking at, you can't be mad at him. It's part of somewhat winning. Nebraska won 7 games this year, but more importantly, the special teams was obviously a bright spot, considering where they were. Now, depending on how it shakes out, it's can get a little shaky, just because, his system was good. So the good thing is a really good coach coaches other coaches. So you want that. You want other guys to be able to kind of go on from there. And that's what he's probably doing, trying to foster some coaches. And that's what he should do because he's very confident in what he can do as a coach. And you like that to have very secure in your coaching ability. And you can tell that from, I know him a little bit. So, we'll see what happens. I just think it's, it's interesting. I just think the big thing on the side note, I think some people make it way too hard, just in general. coaches included. And I understand because there's a lot of moving parts here. It's a big operation, but the football part is easy. It really is. Now it's harder because players aren't as invested as they should be, but the coaching part, and you have to deal with the NIL and the transfer portal and all that. But there's a ways around it and the ways to deal with it. And that's where, hey, look, if you're here, I'm going to coach you and I'm going to treat you like my own. If you decide to leave, it's not going to be on my doing. It's your choice. That's fine. You can do that with coaches as well. But I think sometimes if you could really get the football thing going and getting and this is including the players, a lot of the conversations that you have a lot of times in the off season go away. And so it's hard. Everybody's trying to advance their career. I don't know what he wants to do as far as like where he wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so it'll be, interesting to see where he's at. I mean, at this point, for me, you're looking at other things. If you want to do other stuff besides special teams, you definitely understand it.
Is there a world where Mike Eckler is some college team's answer to Dan Campbell?
What do you mean by that?
Younger, energetic head coach connects with guys, knows enough scheme to get by, but is really just going to hire good people and
like
be a good
head
teacher
coach?
of the game.
Yeah, you probably could. I mean, the biggest thing about coaching is obviously be as invested as you want the players to be. Number one, right? And you got to be a really good communicator. You got to have a ton of humility. You got to have a ton of confidence. You got to be able to connect with the players. You got to be able to take any personal feelings and really coach the football player. And then outside of football, then you connect with the guy on a personal level. So of course you can do it. I think it doesn't matter. I don't think you need to be a certain age to connect with players.
Either you got it or you don't.
And players know whether you're coaching them or not. You know what I mean? I mean, and it's very easy. You say, we need an offensive guru. Well, I see a lot of offensive gurus that would rather just sit in a cubicle and just call plays like they're on PlayStation. They have no personality. I've seen a lot of coaches that get paid a lot of money that don't connect with any of the players. I see a lot of coaches that connect with the players because the players know they're genuine, and you got to have energy and all that. But the energy just comes from your love of the game. When you love football, it's not hard to put in 18-hour days or anything like that, or 12, whatever they got to do.
Well, if you love football and the guys around you love football,
right? But if I got to coach, if I got a job to do, and I got to coach linebackers, I got to coach DBs, I got to do whatever I need to do, and I love football and I love coaching. Yeah, sure, it's taxing, but it's not anything that it was never a burden. So. Sure, Eckler could do it. If that's what he wants to do, then, he's been moving up. He's well respected. I mean, you don't necessarily have to have head coaching experience to be a good head coach. John Harbaugh showed you that. He went from a special teams coordinator. If you can coach, you can coach. If you can lead, you can lead. We, like the coach or the football industry, like as a whole, needs more leaders.
More Signettis.
Yeah, just guys that want to lead and want to coach and want to win, and want to develop guys. That's what we need more. That's why everybody's always grasping at straws to fill coaching vacancies, coordinator vacancies, talking themselves out of good coaches, worrying about I call it resume pimping, to where you're trying to sell it. Whereas you just need to hire a good person first, because obviously if you didn't have football acumen or football knowledge, you wouldn't even be at the table potentially getting a job.
Mm-hmm.
At this point in time, there's universities out there that need to really start thinking outside the box, because everybody else is thinking outside the box. So if they've done it one way, you need to figure out a way to do it like them, but in a different area. Because as the rosters either condense down to 105 or even stay at 120, and you can have unlimited coaches and unlimited analysts or consultants thinking outside the box, so you get more done in less time, is the way to go.
Yeah.
So you have to think, I'm coaching in pods now in every position group. And then we're all collectively coming together. Now you're not off into the abyss over there. Then all the language is the same. But it's like there's Montessori schools, right? So you got small classes and one teacher.
Mhm.
So now you got a big class and you need multiple teachers to break it down. So, if you got 18 guys, just say you have like just in the 4-2-5 and the stack linebacker. So there's two positions that start. There are two guys, right? And let's just say you got 12 in there, including the walk-ons. You need at least 3-4 guys in there. Because I can get more work done in 10 minutes with groups of 3, with 4 different people doing all the same thing, than 2 with 6.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Right. So then you talk about development. Then you talk about mindset. And then you can kind of
engaging players,
and you can kind of switch each time. Obviously, you want the linebacker coach in this case to be with the starters, so forth and so on, and you can do it. And everybody else is doing it.
Yeah.
So we'll see where Coach Eckler, ends up, man. It's going to be interesting. I mean, I'm sure you got to hear something here. I mean, if it was me and it was like another radio station, I'd be on Front Street like, all right, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. But this has been kind of bubbling under the surface for a little while, right? This didn't just come out of nowhere, especially if Matt Rule chooses to address it. And let's get to our starter Heyman Jewelers text line here real quick. 402-464-5685. 1562 says, if Eckler doesn't get out of here now, his career is going to be ruined too. So for his sake, I hope he gets out. I don't think that's necessarily fair. I think if you're a good coach, you're a good coach, right, Jay? And you can only do, the job that you're tasked with. So I don't think I don't think Mike Eckler's career is ruined by any sense of the imagination if he stays at Nebraska, as long as the special teams keep performing well. 99-87, Eckler is 54. He's probably more toward the tail end of his career.
No.
I don't know. I mean, you still got 15, maybe 20 years if you really want.
Way. Yeah, if you want. I mean, no way. No way. He can coach. That's what I always wondered. Like, why are you guys up here trying to tell when like he's on the tail end?
Because retirement age is 55 now for coaches. No, not how it works.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he loves coaching, like, why wouldn't he, if he's 54, why wouldn't he coach to 70?
Right.
Why wouldn't he coach to 65?
Seems like he's in pretty good shape for 54.
I mean, you're trying to tell me he's on the back end if he coaches 10 more years? You could maybe only coach 5 more, but then he would be somebody's special teams consultant like that. So
you can do that for 20 years.
And you can do that until you're done.
Right.
Right. And so, no, he's got plenty of time left, in my opinion, if he wants.
Yeah, Texter 1000 goes kind of where I wanted to go. He's not even trying to keep him. It's funny when Matt Rule says we'll do it within. Well, didn't he do it within the previous 2 years in Nebraska were terrible? So you tell me. I think you up the ante to whatever. If you really want somebody, that's what they did when they went to go get Coach Eckler to begin with. They backed up the Brinks truck. That did kind of sound like a whatever happens answer from Matt Rule. Jay, that didn't sound like a head coach fighting to keep his coordinator. It sounded like a guy that made the financial offer, right? Matt Rule said they offered him the big extension, and that can all be true. But you're Matt Rule, master communicator. You're Matt Rule, message sharer and narrative shaper. And you said, well, if he's here, great. We want him here for a long time. But if not, well, there's a transfer portal for coaches too.
Yeah. I mean,
Mike Eckler might have just saved his job last year. Mike Eckler took one of the lowest rated units in college football over the span of the last 5 years and turned it into at least a negative or a neutral, away from a negative, if not even a positive in a game-changing unit in a couple different ways. If you're just okay with saying, well, whatever happens, happens. If you're okay with going on a national show with some reach and saying, well, if he's here, great. If not, well, I guess that's just the day and age, the transfer portal for coaches. I hate that look from Matt Rule. This guy did so much to help your team last year, and you're just going to dismiss him out of hand like that after you went out and you paid him, $6.25, $100,000, and supposedly offered him an extension. The Matt Rule that I'd gotten used to in the first 3 years of his tenure, Jay, would have been, yeah, we love Eck. He's a big part of what we do. We're doing everything we can to keep him because he's been great. And then when he's gone, it's, well, we did what we could. It's unfortunate that he decided to leave. We thank him for his contributions. This just feels like Matt Rule dismissing Mike Eckler out of hand. And if Eckler's got the people in place to take over, maybe this is hand-wringing about nothing. But even the Mike Eckler piece aside, this doesn't sound like the Matt Rule, fighting for his coaches, defending his guys like we've heard over the first 3 years. And that's a really weird departure just on its own.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard just because you don't know if it's edited or whatever. I mean, I guess I'm assuming it was live, right? And so at some point in time, I think, on both sides, right? You're 100% right that, you have a coach. I wouldn't say saved this job. By no means was Matt Rule ever going to get fired last year if Nebraska, even if they bottomed out. But I could tell you probably.
Save the narrative around his job.
Yeah, I could tell you this, that by the way special teams played and had a big hand in 3 victories, probably help you get paid or get the extension, right? Because then that's when Penn State started to look at him. And so, but that's your job. That's what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. That's what you're getting paid for. That's what you're supposed to do. So you're not, you don't necessarily getting a pat on the back because the special teams were good. We're just looking at the facts, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then on the flip side, I guess I would look at it like, hey, dude, I'm taking care of you. You're well paid. Here's an extension. Sometimes you get backed into a corner, and all you do is you feel like you got to fight yourself out of the corner, out of the corner. You want to make sure that, are you in this with me? And if there's any discrepancies, then I got to go with no, right? Mm-hmm. And here's an example. I remember there was a couple players that I coached in the summer. Or I've actually coached for a very long time. And most of the kids chose to play together. One kid particularly was leaving, right? Didn't tell anybody. And they asked me what to do. And I said, and they got parents, right? So I was just like, all right, here's the only thing I'll tell you. You 3 need to ask him what he's going to do. And I will tell you, if he tells you I don't know, right? He's lying to you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And therefore, you get what I mean? And I'm not talking about what Matt Rule should do or think or whatever. Then you can't trust him. Because he's got to make the decisions best for him, right? But the fact that he can't tell you or wouldn't, and this is high school versus college, way different skill. I'm just talking about if he can't tell you as your friend, then it already lets you know he's not coming back. And it came true. And it came true, and it was at the last minute. And I said, if you guys didn't get together and try to make a decision, you'd have been sitting there with the dookie bag, I always tell him, right? You're your last one.
Yeah.
See you. So maybe that's going on. And I guess the only thing I don't like is, I wouldn't say I don't like. The thing that kind of I had you repeat was when he said I loved working with him. That's like in the past tense.
Yes.
Right. Now, it could be I love working with him last year. I'll love working with him in the future. So, sometimes I think like when you hear this type of stuff, people want to hang on every single word. I think right now, obviously there's some smoke. We don't know if we have a new priest yet or whatever it is when the smoke goes over there.
The
Pope. We don't have a pope yet, but there's probably a little bit of meat on that bone.
It's
like a tomahawk.
Yeah, I mean, it's on Nebraska right now to figure out if it's smoke from a candle or smoke from an oven fire.
I imagine they know. Or have a good feeling, right?
Or a bad feeling.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, and that's just part of it, man. I mean, it's like the Dylan thing, and I know we'll get into it now because Dante Moore coming, not now, but eventually. It's like, on the surface, right? Nobody's in there day to day. So that's why it's always funny when you hear different guys that are either on here or on social media that claim they know. You don't know because you're not there every day. You might know stuff and know people, but you're not there. But on the surface, Dylan was taken care of. And that's why people were mad about the thank you letter or whatever.
Yeah.
You were taken care of on a really big scale as an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You were given the keys to the Lamborghini. And but you just never know. You just never know. People got to make decisions for themselves. You can't be mad at them. In this day and age, it's been created. It's what college coaches have been doing for forever. I mean, in the big scale, probably since like mid to late 80s when college football really started to take off and started to kind of get, decent money. And and then, instead of keeping staffs together, guys were always trying to go off and do their thing. So they've been doing it forever, and so you can't be mad at the kids. You can't be mad at the coach trying to go get another job, or potentially, you just have to move on. It's not any hard feelings. He did his job. You did yours. He wants another place, then so be it.
I want to address this too. A couple different people have said it. Grill Bear says Eckler was never one of Rule's guys is the thing. You could tell from day one with his comment about not being a fan of celebrity coaches and his comments about telling him to tone it down. And then Texture 1000 sounded like Matt Rule didn't care if he went or not and wasn't really one of his guys. Number one, that would be incredibly ironic coming from Coach Matt, who said on day one, it's not, I need 4 years to get my guys in here. If you're on this team, you're one of my guys. And if that doesn't apply to his coaching staff, what a hypocritical look. And without knowing their relationship, I don't know. I can't say that's the case. I can't say that that's not the case. But even what Grill Bear said, Matt Rule's comments not being a fan of celebrity coaches. I don't know if that was directed to Mike Eckler or not, but guess who's kind of made himself a celebrity coach? Matt Rule.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. And again, I'm not saying what Matt Rule is doing is wrong, but if that was directed at Eckler, let me look in the mirror a little bit. I have my own podcast. I'm going on ESPN every week. I want to be the one out in front of the narrative. I don't know who Matt Rule was talking about, what he's referring to, but if that was what Matt Rule was saying, that's a really odd look again. And Jay, to your point, there's always drama. This just seems so unnecessary. Stay or go. Yeah. Be here or don't. Either be happy to have a good coach on your staff or say, hey, we wish him the best. It's this middle ground, this weird, gray area that it just seems like there are two sides kind of sniping at each other after, a wildly successful year by Nebraska standards of recent memory. That's what I'm saying, specifically on special teams. That could have been a bright spot. That should have been something that Nebraska fans were looking forward to. And even the bright spot now gets tainted and tamped down.
I mean, it's the same thing I said with Dylan and all them when you got you're kind of communicating through third parties. That's what social media is, right? Just get together. Let's get face to face. See if we're going to do something. And maybe that's not, what's going to happen. I remember, and obviously I'm being from Minnesota. Obviously have some friends that played at Minnesota and talked to a couple guys that cover the team and work and do some stuff for the team. And then one of my really good friends and mentors is the head of their, I guess now would be their in-house NIL or whatever would be their foundation. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
And I remember him talking about, I was texting him, give, jabs at him that every time a job came up, whether it's UCLA or Florida or whatever, PJ Fleck was, name was somehow getting there, involved. And this is over the, almost immediately after having a good year.
Right.
And his thing was yeah, man, it's he's like, we're all always bracing for it, but it's either you're going to be our coach or not. I think they got over that hump now.
Okay.
Now,
with PJ.
With PJ. On both sides. So you just never know. And I do understand that sentiment. Either you're staying or you're going. It's really an easy, if they're willing to offer you a job, I'm sure they're willing to look at your contract and get you out of the contract. So you're going to get it done or you're not. If not, you're going to stay. But then if you do stay, you got to make sure that you're staying, everybody's on the same page, because there's no reason to reluctantly stay. There's no reason to reluctantly welcome him back either.
With you on that. Thomas and Lincoln Disc Golf. Jake, appreciate your text. I'll respond to you offline here. We got to hit our break. Dan from Canopy, Fred and the boys are on a historic heater. Who cares about that dumpster fire of a football program? Tired of the talk, GBR. Well, Dan, stick with us. Got a lot of basketball talk coming your way in hour 2. We'll talk Nebraska's win over Oregon. I've got a whiteboard Wednesday for you. A few plays that stood out to me from Nebraska's win over the Ducks. But when we get back, we'll start the Oregon conversation. Dante Moore has made his decision. What is it? We'll talk about that and what it means for college football in the NFL when we get back to Old School. Hour 1 brought to you, as always, by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. You can call them for more information at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. He's Jay Foreman. I'm Austin Norman. This is Old School.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Nutrition Authority invites you to check out the top-selling Epic Effects. Epic Effects is designed to help blast body fat, curb cravings, and provide smooth energy so you can cruise through the day. Home of free samples and better than internet pricing, Epic Effects can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new Delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
It's the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Come see trophy deer, hunting seminars, hunting and outdoor exhibitors, a 3D archery tournament, enter the blind giveaway, and more. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate, January 16th, 17th, and 18th. Learn more at NebraskaDeerandGameExpo.com and find them on Facebook. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies, and it will be breezy and colder. The afternoon high here is 33. Tonight we'll see increasing cloud cover and light winds, a low around 20. And tomorrow we'll see partly sunny skies with a light breeze, a little warmer, the high here 45. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call
John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
And electrical.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with the bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G165184, 2,500 down with proof credit.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Husker Nation, the countdown is on for the biggest women's basketball event of the year, PAC PBA, coming up January 24th. This year, we're heating things up with the Big Red Beach Party. Watch your Huskers take on Big Ten opponent Illinois, decked out in your best tropical gear, with a specialty tropical drink in hand, all inside Pinnacle Bank Arena. PAC PBA is your tropical getaway right here in Lincoln. Get your tickets today at huskers.com/PACPBA.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320. For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we teased it. Dante Moore has made his decision. He's back at Oregon. Austin Norman, Jay Foreman with you here on Old School. Brought to you by Graham Tire, 4 locations here in Lincoln. Jay, Dante Moore passes up around $50 million for a chance to return to Oregon. No reports, nothing confirmed about what he will make in NIL once he returns to Eugene. But let's start with that decision from Dante Moore. Foregoing a chance to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft this year, feeling like there's unfinished business at Oregon, he returns to the Ducks.
Yeah. It must be nice up there in Oregon. You might have got a whiff of some wacky tobacco. You know what I'm saying? I mean, straight up. Why? You can't convince me that you don't need to be going in the NFL. Well, because you don't want to go play for the Jets? I don't want you anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're going to come back knowing dang well that they're going to probably force Arch Manning to be the number 1 pick. And it's a really deep 2027 draft class, and you're going to come back because you need another year of college football to all of a sudden get better. You're going to bypass 45 million.
I mean, Travis Hunter made 46.45 guaranteed as number 2 last year.
Number 2. So so let's just say, and you got to put obviously a little bit more because it goes up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you probably gave up. 40. What'd you say? 40.
Hunter got 46.45 guaranteed last year.
You just gave away $50 million. Okay, That's fine. You're going to get paid what, 5 to be at Oregon? You still can't get that $45 million back.
You got to go number 2 next year.
Yeah.
Is that a guarantee? No.
Depends. How many teams are bad?
But it's never a guarantee.
There's never a guarantee.
Never.
Cardell Jones will tell you that. Whether he likes to admit it or not, you should have left. You listened to Urban Meyer, and then you went, 3rd, 4th round, and you just were floundering out. You were out of the league. You don't even know if you got vested.
Oh, there's no way he got vested. Barely saw the field.
I mean, Will Campbell got $44 million at number 4. That's where the Jets are picking as of right now. And you know what? It's not a bad. I guess it's not as. I mean, obviously, I don't agree with it. I think I want a quarterback that thinks he can go to the Jets and turn them around. That's what I want. I want a guy that knows, like, I'm the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be the guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to work to be the guy. I don't want a guy to say, I don't want to go to the Jets. You're not even in that position. Your last name ain't Manning. You aren't John Elway.
Caleb Williams tried that. Didn't work out very well for him. And now it's working out better. But
I mean, worst case scenario, say you went to the Raiders last year. Okay. That's $40 million guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say worst case scenario, you went number 8 to the Panthers, which was last year. That's $28 million. You're not going below 8.
No.
So, I mean, Cleveland Browns, Mason Graham got $41 million. But it makes Oregon probably, as of right now, maybe one of the odds-on favorites to be preseason ranked number 1 and to be a national champion.
I mean, certainly top 5 in the preseason. They'll have presumably better health next year than they did this year. They got super banged up.
Yeah.
That defense might lose some pieces, though.
Yeah,
okay?
but they're bringing back that whole defensive line.
D-line back is good.
They started 3 freshmen at DB, so you can expect them to be better.
Okay. Receivers will be healthy. Running backs ought to be healthy.
Running backs, maybe lose a lineman or 2, but they're going to be stacked. Mm-hmm. And you're bringing back your quarterback, your trigger man. You feel like this is a year that kind of like Ohio State, not this year, but maybe, Will Howard, we got our quarterback back. But, how much is that worth it to you?
You being Dante Moore. I mean, this means a lot more for Oregon, I think.
Right.
There's a lot more value for Oregon than Dante Moore, which makes me wonder what the pitch was to him. And here's the thing, Jay. I think for college football, it can be painted as a really good thing. Hey, get one of your headlining stars back to one of your headlining teams. He's going to come back to Oregon with a chance to make history. Ducks still without a national championship in their history. On the one hand, I think that's good for college sports. You just hope that he came back on good advice, that he wasn't misguided, that he talked to advisors that he trusts, because if he gets hurt, that's bad for college sports then, because then I think you have more guys saying, well, even if I do have, more room to grow and I'm not a guarantee, I got to go in case I get hurt.
Yeah. Well, that too. And there's no guarantee that you're going to get better at the things that the pros are telling you need to get better at.
Sure.
Or you just need more experience in college. I mean, that's what you're telling me? Is that what – because Todd McShay says you need another year of college? You're almost there? I mean, are you dumb? I mean, not you, but I'm saying,
Yeah.
I mean –
Well, yes, I am, but –
No, you're not. No, you're actually too smart. But it's just like I don't know, man. I get what you're saying. The NIL helps it because when I was in college, all you had your scholarship checks. So let's say he's getting $5 million. Say he got like $4 million last year or $3 million. That's $8 million. That makes it a little bit easier to stay around college. Now, most likely if he plays the same way and he does get better or just gets better with experience, then maybe, he still, then he still goes pretty high and potentially still will go first round. Right. But who knows? Because sometimes too much is just too much. Because then when you're evaluating one guy that has a ton of potential versus 5 other guys that have potential, then it's just a matter of what they like. Now you're leaving it up to chance. Like you played well all year. Everybody sees your superior skills. Everybody sees your ability to throw a tight spiral. You can throw it deep, and you got sneaky good athletic ability. Everybody knows you're a good teammate because you got leadership skills. So you've done your job.
Yeah,
and you're gonna and throwing if the Jets threw him in there as a rookie, that's probably career suicide. We've seen that. I saw it with David Carr. But you could.
Well, guess what? Bryce Young bounced back from career suicide.
I was just about. You literally took the words out of my mouth. Bryce Young was behind a more porous offensive line.
Less talented receivers.
Less talented receivers, and who knows with Breece Hall? But you got Braylon Allen and all that. You
got Garrett Wilson. That's a good place to
that's
start.
What I'm saying, Garrett Wilson, but Braylon Allen will come back as a running back if Hall leaves.
Yeah.
So you're not dealing with where the Panthers are. You know what I mean? And sure,
shoot, Cam Ward.
You got the experience. Peyton Manning led the league in interceptions as a rookie. It worked out pretty dang good for him.
Yeah.
Now, this is what I don't like, and I like Todd McShay. This is what I don't like about those types of guys. They're going to say Anthony Richardson and Dante Moore. They're two different people.
Wildly.
Two different people. One's very, very immature. One's very immature. So stop trying to compare the two because one guy failed. You know what I mean? And who knows what the dynamics were in Indianapolis and all that versus if he goes to the Jets. Now, the Jets organization and Woody Johnson, they need to get it together, but it's still, and it's a bigger market in New York. But if you're advising him, telling him to come back and play college football for 40, and lose $40 million, whoever told you that is an idiot.
Seriously.
Because you can't make that up.
Let me get to this from 1171. His NIL will help him just fine, and if he goes to a decent team, his second and third contracts will be monster if he plays well. He also said he needs another year to mature, not get better. He's young, just turned 20. I like bits and pieces of that. Some of it, Jay, second and third contracts. Number one, never a guarantee. It's all about the fit. Not. Right. I mean, the fit matters for a quarterback. But you know what helps you get a second and third contract is having that number 2 attached to your name. I mean, think about how many stops it took Sam Darnold, highly ranked guy. Right. I mean, Mitch Trubisky's made $22 million in the NFL just by being a high draft pick. Now 22, he's not 50.
Yeah, you
get more chances.
Yeah.
They're not saying he can't go number 2 next year, but I go back to betting on yourself is coming out early. Betting on yourself is staying in college. You can view it either way. Either way, it's betting on yourself. So yes, NIL will help him for this year. When I hear 1171 say you need to mature, by all accounts, Dante Moore's a good teammate. Knows how to read the room, is a leader of men, that sort of thing. To me, this is more football mature. He started fewer than 20 games in college. And the track record,
Trey Lance and all that.
Right. And the track record for guys that have started, less than 2 seasons in college is kind of spotty in the NFL ranks. But this is where, Jay, let's talk about the Dylan Raiola aspect of it all.
Yeah.
Well, what does this do for Dylan Raiola? Probably moves him to the bench or backup kind of spot duty role. Presume that he takes the red shirt. Yeah, I assume he sticks around. Yeah. I would stick around if I was him. I mean, you had to know this was a possibility going in, but if you're Dylan Raiola, what's going through your head right now?
Oh, I mean, obviously, I think he knew that dynamic before he probably, that was a chance. And so it's, you see the outcome of it, of what Dante Moore did, sitting behind Dylan Gabriel. It worked out pretty well, right? And so, you got to, you're willing to go up there and be a backup. He'll probably play at least 4 games. And so he's not going to be just sitting there on the shelf. So it's not all for naught, but then it's the environment that maybe that was appealing to him. It's good for him to be up there in the Pacific Northwest where it's only football. Maybe it's good for him to be out of the spotlight and get refocused. And so, it can be, a good thing. We got an unknown texter here, 1508. He said Dylan will transfer in the spring window with a tracker. Is there another?
There is no spring window.
Yeah,
this is the one window.
Yeah, last year there was because that's what Mekhi Barrett is. So we got another text, 5691. It says, Jay, this isn't accurate. Look at the QBs with the same number of games and how they fared. It's going to be a defense and O-line heavy first round. Correct. But he was going number 2 at worst. Quarterback off. I mean, number 2 quarterback being picked. So no worse than number 6 as the draft stands right now.
Right now.
Okay. Next year, there's more in the pot as far as first round potential quarterbacks. And so you go from, let's just say, Mendoza, Moore, Simpson this year. Anybody else?
Those are the ones that stand out to me.
Okay, so those 3. All right. Next year, it's 3 or 4 times of those guys coming into the season. You got Sellers. Now you got Arch Manning. Now you got Dante Moore.
Mensa from Duke.
You got Mensa from Duke. You got Sorsby. You got Hauser at Indiana. So that's 6 right there. So now we just in doubled, and we're probably missing some.
Levitt.
That's 7. And who else?
C.J. Carr.
C.J. Carr. Old buddy from Texas A&M. Reed. Old buddy from Arkansas. So we're at 10. Yeah, we're at 10 right now. Yeah, right. In Maeva. Now, he's probably not first round, but we got 10 guys.
But he's going to be another good year statistically.
Right. You can move up.
Lincoln Riley track record.
You can move up. So when somebody else moves up, you move down.
It's like you've always talked about in your situation, supply and demand.
Supply and demand, dude. You got to go. The supply is low. Demand for you, no matter what, 20 years old or not, you need to jump right now and go get the money. And I do understand you need to mature, but I don't think you are a Jamarcus Russell type of immature, Dante Moore, or else you wouldn't be at Oregon.
Right.
So you're mature enough for me, considering that you were willing to leave UCLA and that you started some as a freshman and go sit on the bench and get better. That shows a lot more maturity than a lot of guys I've seen in college football. That shows some kind of forward thinking that you can think beyond the right now. So you are actually more. Give yourself a little bit more credit. And then obviously give your talent a little bit more credit. And I do agree right here before we go to break. I do understand the numbers of 2 years of starting less than 2 years. But I would tell you this. I'll push back on that because the NFL is now morphing towards more into college now. So actually, if you get in the right situation and have a veteran quarterback and they don't throw you out there like a Jaden Daniels and all that, then actually you might not come on the scene as a gangbusters in the first year, but you won't have to face that sophomore slump that everybody faces. So you got to there's either one or the other.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm not saying that was the end all be.
No, that was just from the text.
Yeah. You know, it's a number. It's not the number. Every quarterback is different. Every fit is different. 1171, I think you're missing the point. Every QB you guys just listed isn't better than Moore. In an Oregon offense, there's no evidence he will play bad or even average next year.
That's not the point.
That's not the concern.
It's not about whether they're better or not. It's about what they like. The NFL is known. Why do you think Dante Moore has the option to go? Because the quarterback play is so bad, because the guys picking quarterbacks don't know what the hell they're doing, because they are picking guys based on either potential or what they want to see. Right? There's a reason why Tony Eason went higher than Dan Marino. There's a reason why Christian Ponder, no offense against him, went number 12. You get what I'm saying? There's a reason why Lamar Jackson went number 31. There's a lot of teams. There's a reason why Tom Brady went in the 6th round or whatever he went.
Yeah.
Right? Because what the NFL does this is the history. And there's a reason why there was even a discussion of Ryan Leaf going before Peyton Manning. You talking about immaturity.
Trubisky over Mahomes.
The dude from the Tennessee Titans that Jake Locklear over and Blaine Gabbert over Cam Newton. Is because they get in here and they want that one pick.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, well, he has a ton of potential. He has, Jamarcus Russell threw from his knees and threw it 80 yards. That's what got him drafted.
How many times has he done that in an NFL game in his career?
Right. So I think that's to push back on your point. It's not about how good Dante Moore is. It's about is he so good and head and shoulders above Sam Levitt? Would you really say that? If Sam Levitt goes down there and turns LSU around, he did it at ASU. He was balling this year. Okay, then that's one above you. Arch Manning's getting the family hookup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's already locked and loaded in there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now you're down to
now
3.
You just lost 10, well, then you just lost $10 million just on that alone. But
like
you're better than him.
Yeah.
And then just say now you go. I mean, heck, the Arizona Cardinals are picking a first-round pick this year, quarterback.
Yeah.
But you wish him luck. You know, we want him to play well, except for the game that we go out there and play him. But
this might mean Dylan Raiola faces Nebraska for the first time in Lincoln in 2027 then.
That's what I was just about to say. That's got to be hard
Okay, we're
to watch.
connected,
Hey,
Look
man,
at us.
that's the thing, though. I was thinking about, like, if I transferred to Michigan, just sitting there watching, I get in trouble. Because I'd be just mad. You know what I mean? It's hard.
It is hard. What's not hard, at least wasn't hard for Nadam Kinsu, was college football. He's elected to the College Football Hall of Fame. Let's talk about the House of Spears to wrap up Hour 1.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Just got new tires put on my car today.
You did? I did see you leave the office.
I didn't need to. Graham Tire picked up my car this morning and dropped it back off and they were done.
You're kidding. How'd you get that kind of service?
That's just what they do at Graham Tire.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with a bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G165184, $2,500 down with proof credit.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more. Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to the Spring Equipment and Technology Clinic February 3rd through the 5th at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney. New this year, the planter and sprayer clinics are combined into one streamlined, hands-on event built around growers' time and needs. Get expert training on John Deere planters and sprayers on topics including maintenance, technology, and autonomy. Don't miss it. February 3rd through the 5th in Kearney. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for details.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320. Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
A membership with John Henry's will fast track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
And electrical.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in to Old School, hour one of the show, brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. They got all sorts of great stuff going on down there in Hallam, including free estimates, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and lifetime warranties on everything. They've got affordable prices, and they're family-owned and operated with their own team of installers. Learn more by visiting them online, heartlandofnebraskawindows.com, or by giving them a call, 402-430-3852. Jay, speaking of getting a call, how about this? In his first time on the ballot, Ndamukong Suh inducted into the National Football Foundation Hall of Fame. Obviously, best known for his exploits in 2008 and 2009 for Nebraska, including a virtuoso performance against Texas, outperforming many defensive lines in terms of output on his own. Ndamukong Suh, the first Husker inducted since Frank Solich, who was inducted in 2024, most recent Husker player since Zach Wiegert in 2022, and now 28 Nebraska Cornhuskers in the National Football Foundation Hall of Fame after Ndamukong Suh got the tap today.
Yeah, congratulations to him. I mean, he was a great player here, great player in the pros, and doing some great things after, football, obviously. I mean, there's not enough great, good things you can say about him. Dominant player here, goes without saying. Made some legendary plays here, obviously, which a lot of Nebraska players did, and he's done great things. I mean, to go that high and to live up to the hype, and be here in Nebraska where he was just dominant. I mean, he was a one-man wrecking crew. Him and Jared Crick was just housing cats. The whole D line was good then, and it was good. That was probably the last little old school type of, D line where they were really throwing guys out the club and really doing stuff. I think that Millie Collins did himself, and obviously the Twins did. But I mean, I think Ndamukong Suh was very dominant, and obviously the Texas game is probably his signature game. Him having the quarterback in one hand, the lineman threw on the other is probably his signature play. I know, obviously, when he, had the fumble return, for a touchdown, and obviously Blaine Gabbert and stuff like that, those plays. But, he was a great player, and so obviously tremendous amount of congratulations to him, for all his success.
That was his success in college. Got Defensive Rookie of the Year in the NFL in 2010, 3-time All-Pro, 5-time Pro Bowler, and Super Bowl champ. NFL Hall of Famer or just College Football Hall of Famer?
Good question. Kind of depends if he gets in the media or not. I think it'll take him a little bit while longer.
Certainly not first ballot.
No,
NFL,
certainly
right?
not first ballot, but he had it definitely, on the fringe, and his game wasn't like Warren Sapp and all that. And you got to think he, was playing, got drafted by Detroit, and obviously they were struggling there. And then obviously he was able to get, through the, with the Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay. And then obviously he played in another one with the Rams and still was a very productive player, even his last year in the NFL. So.
Did he get to the one with the Eagles too?
They lost, I think,
That's
when
right,
they picked
that's
up.
right.
Remember, they picked
That's
up him
right.
and Linval
And Linval
Joseph.
Joseph,
And they
yeah.
should have got there that year.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, I wish he does. I hope he does, because I was to go through the same thing with my dad. So he's done some stuff that is worthy of it. But I think the best thing for him, if he could get into the media, and which he does, but I'm talking about the sports media,
Right. Corporate legacy.
Corporate. He could definitely get in.
Remains to be seen. Almost not really a question of if Nebraska makes the NCAA basketball tournament, but when Nebraska makes the NCAA basketball tournament. They put 35 on Oregon, 90-55.
That's a long ride home.
Long flight home. Dane Ullman might have taken the drive to Wilbur before heading to the airport, but
32 on Oregon. His hair, the back of his head is the lake.
that big old donut.
You know who that reminds me of? Nick Sainer. Nick Sainer got the same age too. They're about the same age.
Nick Sainer, Nate Biddle.
Yeah,
and maybe they're the same
and
person.
They got a little pond right now. In a couple of years, they're gonna have a nice little lake back there. Nice little landing strip for a little landing spot for a flying saucer right there.
Flying saucer helicopter.
You got a teleport right there on that big old head.
Let's talk about it more in hour 2.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Just got the brakes fixed on my car today.
You did? You haven't even left the office.
I didn't need to. I got a guy who picks up my car and drops it off when it's done.
Well, who's your guy?
Graham Tire. They have pickup and delivery service at all 5 of their Lincoln locations.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Führer's cheese spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to the Spring Equipment and Technology Clinic February 3rd through the 5th at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney. New this year, the planter and sprayer clinics are combined into one streamlined, hands-on event built around growers' time and needs. Get expert training on John Deere planters and sprayers on topics including maintenance, technology, and autonomy. Don't miss it. February 3rd through the 5th in Kearney. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for details.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
It's the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Come see trophy deer, hunting seminars, hunting and outdoor exhibitors, a 3D archery tournament, enter the blind giveaway, and more. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate, January 16th, 17th, and 18th. Learn more at nebraskadeerandgameexpo.com and find them on Facebook. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th in Lincoln.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings, thanks to the all-new Delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney location. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Coy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black Shirts answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln. Your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome in hour 2 of Old School. I'm Austin. He's Jay. You're you listening on your drive home. Maybe you're at work, wherever it is you are. Appreciate you tuning in. Wherever you are in Lincoln, you're close to a Graham Tire location. Graham Tire celebrating 75 years of serving the Midwest. They're more than just tires. They do all kinds of car and light truck repairs, too. From brakes to oil changes, trust Graham Tire for service you can count on. Graham Tire, getting you to the places that matter most. I want to read this. Mom sent this to me. My coworker, from my mom, my coworker Sam, the guy we get our prime rib from, stopped me to tell me that Foreman and Orman is his wife Emma's favorite show. He makes her listen to you on their way home every day. Said she would never admit it out loud, but it is true. So
we appreciate that.
There we go.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
It's our prime rib guy, Jay.
Yeah.
In case you missed that part.
Right.
The important part. Got to keep our prime rib guy happy.
Exactly. We keep him happy. He makes us happy.
Indeed. Making Nebraska fans happy, Jay. Nebraska men's basketball now 17-0 on the year. They come back home after a 2-game Big Ten road swing, and go back and forth with Oregon for really the first 16 minutes of the game. Nebraska goes on a huge run to end the first half, and that continues into the second half. A 12-point lead at the break turns into a 35-point final margin, 90-55. Nebraska ends up winning the game over Oregon. Man, in a spot where an Oregon team is beat up, Nebraska showed absolutely no mercy.
Yeah, I mean, it's I guess a tone-setting game. It's a maturity game. It's a humility game. It's a I don't want to say it's an ego game. Well, I guess you could say it's an ego game, and it's a good ego game where you want to impose your will and show dominance, but then also you want to know that you're not egotistical and thinking that you're going to roll out there and just bludgeon Oregon. So they went about their business, and they left no doubt. And I think this is where you have a coach and Fred Hoiberg and the leadership of the older players and obviously assistant coaches as well, that they're able to push the right buttons and have them focused and they understand who they are. They also, and that's where the humility comes in. Like, yeah, you're having success right now. And this is where I think you're seeing the growth in this team versus other teams that have maybe, got some national recognition of individual players or Big Ten, is that they know exactly what was said about them before. They know that people are waiting for them to mess up and have that game. You might, like where they get beat by 20 or something.
Well, guess what? That happened to Iowa State last night.
Oh, yeah.
They go on the road to Kansas and get boat raced, lose by 21 points to Kansas. It happened to a Iowa State team that was ranked better and, went and won at
Purdue. And gets more respect. But where Nebraska, you're new on the scene, you're ranked number 8 and you still got guys, what we read, earlier in the week, where it's like if they don't make it to the grade 8, then this season was all for nothing. People don't respect Nebraska's talent or their team or their chemistry. And so last night was a good chance or the good job of showing everybody just who you are. And so, some big games, obviously, out of a couple players. Braden Frager continues to impress. Obviously, going 7-11 for 3 is not going to happen every single game. But when you're on a heater, the thing I like about this team, which you don't, we do a lot of high school games where this team, if Rink is on or Price or Burke or Braden in this game or Jamarcus, they're going to keep feeding them because everybody on that team wants to win. And they know the merry-go-round will always come back to them. They'll have a game where they can get off themselves.
You talk about those two players, Sanford and Frager. They combined for 51 points. Oregon had 55 as a team. They both go 7 of 11 from 3. You also have them both go 4 of 7 from 3 in the first half and 3 of 4 from 3 in the second half. So good consistency from those two. And then, other bit contributions up and down the roster. You think about the 6 steals from Sam Hoiberg alongside 11 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. He stuffed the stat sheet. Rink Mass in foul trouble. Berkay Butenjo plays pretty well in his 23 minutes. But, Jay, Nebraska was clearly better than Oregon last night. Nebraska's clearly been better than Oregon now. And this is a hobbled Oregon team down its starting point guard, kind of fringy all Big Ten guy in Jackson Shellstad. But one of the important points about being a good team, Jay, is sometimes you make teams look worse than they are. Mm-hmm. And if they're in the middle of a bad stretch, you continue that bad stretch, right? I mean, your 94, 95, 97 teams were better than pretty much everyone that took the field then. Yeah. And 95, probably accepting them being arguably the greatest team of all time.
Sure.
You played some other good teams that you made look silly. You played some teams that were in desperate spots, and you made them look silly. And Nebraska seems to have found, at least for now, that killer edge where they know they're good and they walk that line of, we know we're better than you, and don't take it personal. We're just better. We're here to handle business. And they did that for, I would say probably 36 minutes.
The same way they've been able to battle back being down 16 points at, obviously at times Indiana and obviously against Oklahoma, is the same way they're going to bludgeon you by 30 plus points.
Yeah.
Execution, tenacity, pace, spacing, shooting, and togetherness. I mean, there's other things I'm sure Fred got into it, but that's when you watch them, that's exactly what they do. They don't panic because they're actually all invested. They don't panic because they actually know what the expectations are in each of their roles. And they all have accepted their role. And then they've made that role. They've all exceeded expectations in the role that they're playing.
Yeah.
Sam Hoiberg, the way he plays, they're playing this year, exceeded a lot of people's expectations because of what he's added to his game. And then he's obviously increased his stamina because he's not wearing down. That was the big thing. You can't play him too many minutes. Now he's playing in all the minutes, and then he's productive, right? And he's even better and more strategic when he's locking you up on defense and making the game-winning plays. And then whether it's Price, obviously he hadn't been here and he just got here. He's able to play a little bit more freer because he was stuck in the corner in Iowa. Mm-hmm. So, that's it. And so they all accepted the roles. Price got the green light. And Fred trusts him to shoot, and he can shoot himself. If he's in a slump, he's going to shoot himself out of it. Same with Rink. And so it comes from
Rink, who is slumping right now.
But
hit the 6 against Michigan State. Then since then it's been up and down, but he's hit some big ones.
He hit some big ones, but it's the confidence in each other, in the leadership, and then also the humility to understand and when you're not hitting, taking yourself out of the way and then do other things to win. Whether it's Jamarcus Lawrence, have a big game on the road. They just they're coming into the season. You're like, oh, they're starting 5 will be okay, right? They'll be able to be competitive against the right
matchups.
Well, now their bench is deeper.
It's outscoring Oregon 37-7.
Right, that's their bench, and obviously it was a big game by Frager. But you got to think you got Caleb Jacobson.
But still, even you take Frager out, you outscore him 14-7.
You got Garcia, and those three have played huge minutes, and so if they can get one more or get some more minutes out of somebody else, they're gonna be tough, man. Because what they do to you on offense, it's stress. You got size and you got guys that can move and they can shoot, man. Listen, you running back on defense, and you get the white version of Chuck Person, the rifleman. And if you don't know who Chuck Person is,
look him up.
He is Price Sanford, old school. He was quick.
Quick with it.
Yeah, and deep. And once you come over half court and he sees one little half step, hand down, man down. And so they're playing really well right now. So
the Nebraska comparison might be Eric Piatkowski, but I love the rifleman pull from you. That was incredible.
Yeah. Piatkowski would be there, but I think Chuck Person. I think he got a little Chuck Person in him.
Oh, I see it. Oh yeah. Oh, I totally see it. Sam Hoiberg is Jack Moore. I don't know if you remember Jack Moore that played for Nebraska in the early 80s. I think on the Brian Banks team, that's who he reminds me of. Jack was a jack of all trades. I think Jack Moore still holds the Nebraska record for career free throw percentage. Kind of a spark plug guy. I mean, I think Sam Hoiberg is kind of the natural progression of the Benny Parker archetype of player. Benny Parker was nothing but like 5'10", 5'11", defensive energizer bunny. Benny Parker, couldn't throw the basketball in the ocean from a boat. It was bad for Benny Parker offensively. It was a complete non-factor. And that's how teams treated Sam most of his career. Sam made that leap that a guy like Benny Parker never did.
Yeah. Sam Hoiberg, he's got a little bit of edge to him though too. That's the
thing. Little bit?
Don't let that first of all, Fred got a nice little soft voice, you know what I mean? He's always just kind of chill. Hey, old buddy got a little deep voice and stuff, he got the little
Barry White.
Yeah. He reminded me of my man Kirk Heinrich.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or my man that played at Maryland. A little white point guard. They always fighting. He's from Miami, but he throws.
Juan Dixon?
No, he's a white dude. He was number 25. And the reason why is that, he's going out there playing against guys that think they're more athletic than them, but Sam will get up in your grill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's all about it.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And so, guys know on a scouting report, you're in for a long night.
Mm-hmm.
You're in for a long night. That's the same with Kirk Heinrich. I've seen Kirk Heinrich when he played with the Bulls. He'll throw hands.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Sam ain't going to do that, but I'm just saying that it's going to be physical, and you in for it, and he's going to constantly just come at you and wear you down. That's the great thing that they're doing. But they're a really good team. And sure, by now they should be, get the recognition that they deserve. But it's onward and upward. You got another challenge. I think the great thing about the way the schedule sets up for the rest of the season for Nebraska.
Steve Blake.
There
you go. Good pull.
And it will throw hands like no other. Straight up. Is that every game from here on out is a game that we can be tuned up for.
Mm-hmm.
Northwestern, notoriously a hard place to play for Nebraska over the years.
Yeah. They knocked off Purdue not that long ago in that building.
Washington, can we go on the road and travel?
Right.
Is the sucky, 8 o'clock?
Washington should be here.
Oh, it's here. Excuse me.
Yeah. At Northwestern, home for Washington.
And then you go at Minnesota. I was kind of looking at the thing at the barn, right?
Never been kind to Nebraska.
Right. And you've been, when we've been beating Minnesota bad.
Yeah.
Then like the dude that just got off the practice squad come and have a game. Then you got to go to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's going to be a nationally recognized and televised game.
Mm-hmm.
Where people are going to be tuning in for it. And then you're playing Illinois with the payback. They want to get some.
Mm-hmm.
Rutgers is still a hard place to go and play at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
So now that's another test. And then we get our best friends ever, as long as we don't have the crew in there that caused the phantom foul or whatever, Purdue at half court. We get them at home.
Yeah.
Then we get Northwestern at home,
mm-hmm.
right? Then we go to Iowa. We've always kind of struggled there. We got Penn State at home, Maryland at home. Then we go West Coast tripping, and then we get Iowa at home.
Yeah.
So every game, it's not like you can find a place to not only motivate you, but obviously keep your discipline because you got a point to prove for the rest of the season.
You absolutely do. And I think that you continue to prove points by proving you can beat teams that play different styles. And Jay, Oregon played a style that Nebraska hadn't seen much of this year or not in this way. But what was the big focus for Fred Hoiberg and this team coming into the game? Battle on the boards. Oregon started 3 former McDonald's All-Americans in their front court and had the highest offensive rebounding percentage in the Big Ten. Nebraska allows zero offensive rebounds in the first half of that game, where Oregon shot 12 of 21. Okay, put the ball in the bucket pretty well, so there weren't necessarily many opportunities. But still, Nebraska out-rebounded Oregon 15-10 and had 6 of its own offensive rebounds, in addition to reining in 9 threes in the first half. That's how they get up by 12 points. The second half, they give up a few down the stretch, so Oregon ends up with a handful of offensive rebounds for the game. But I think back, and it's not a perfect one-to-one comparison, so don't crucify me for this take, because these two teams were built a little bit differently. Whereas Oregon, I think, and I know missing Shellstad, he ties a lot together for them.
Mm-hmm.
He's a tone setter. He's kind of their edge in some ways. I thought Oregon was kind of the soft athletic team, right? They just want to jump over you. They want to jump around you. They're not going to go through you like maybe a Texas A&M did a couple years ago.
That's one,
Right. So there are two different ways about offensive rebounding from those two teams. But Jay, in just 2 years, you can see the growth of Nebraska's program. Again, Oregon was lacking some edge. That's on them. They're in a bad way. Nebraska shoved them in a locker, and Oregon had no plans on crawling out. Fine, you credit Nebraska for that. But Oregon's advantage in this game was getting inside, which they did well at times. Oregon's advantage in this game was the front court crashing the glass. Nebraska didn't let them do that. Nebraska took the challenge personal. They stuck to the game plan. They hounded Oregon's guards. 16 turnovers on the game, 11 of them were steals. Nebraska had advantages against A&M 2 years ago, didn't or couldn't press those buttons. Maybe it was the mental part of it. Maybe they were, just too physically outgunned, whatever it was. But as bad as Oregon, was coming into this game, as poorly as they were playing, they had advantages. Nebraska didn't let them get to them. Nebraska neutralized those advantages, and Nebraska's strengths shone through in a way that they didn't, almost 2 years ago now.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, the first thing I go to when I look at the box score is rebounding difference. And there was times that, in a couple years past where Nebraska would get out-rebound by double digits.
Yeah.
Now, look, they won it against a bigger, more athletic team, supposedly, than Oregon, and they've been at or close enough to where their skill, their togetherness, and obviously the way Fred is able to call sets and put players in the right positions to be successful offensively nullifies any type of deficit they have on the boards.
Mm-hmm.
And then also I like it to where they're all locked in and there's not as many defensive breakdowns, right? Communications, or, where they're, in a, scramble mode on defense when they reverse. And you've seen a couple times a few years ago, they play really good and then they have a couple defensive breakdowns down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see any of that this year. And that's where the pressure is put on the opposing teams on both ends of the court. And Nebraska is able just to break people's will right now. And so it's going to get tougher down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not anything that they can't handle. And they got to continue to play at this level by doing the little things that they've done right all year.
Some more notes. This comes from the Nebraska Communications Department. 35-point margin of victory, Nebraska's largest in Big Ten play. Previous high was 34. Nebraska beat Rutgers in Piscataway by 34 in January of 2016. Fourth 90th point game of the season for Nebraska. Their second 30-point victory in 3 Big Ten Conference home games this year. They also 30-pieced Wisconsin. 17 threes against Oregon ties the PBA record. They also hit 17 against Florida International back earlier this season. 11th time Nebraska has had 10 or more three-pointers, tied its season high with 11 steals. And then the individual awards or near history here, Jay. Both Sanford and Frager make the 7 threes, tied the record for most threes by a Husker at PBA, and then just 1 three-pointer shy of the school record set by Kerry Cohorn against Baylor in 2002. And the 17 threes as a team, 1 shy of the record as well. Sam Hoiberg, career high 6 steals, 2 shy of the school record, most ever by a Husker at Pinnacle Bank Arena, and the most since Glenn Watson, actually, back in 2017.
Yeah, Glenn Watson, man, I think overlooked. I mean, his senior year, I think he did pretty well. I like Glenn Watson's game.
Glenn Watson is the Tommy Armstrong of Nebraska point guards.
I like that comparison. I like him, though.
I'm Glenn guy. Yeah.
I like Glenn.
Glenn Watson was like Diet Cassius Winston.
Glenn Watson on this team would be mad. Oh, my God.
Glenn Watson on last year's team. Imagine him and Bryce running together.
Glenn Watson, even with the McGowans, would be awesome.
Man.
Because he was a setup man, and he could hit you to the 3.
Cold-blooded.
Yeah.
He was clutch. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Glenn Watson guy, forever and always. Let's look at a couple plays from this Nebraska-Oregon game.
Yeah, let's do this.
Kickstart of the Huskers. Whiteboard Wednesday will lead into
Austin.
White Boy Wednesday, into hour 5, 5 o'clock hour 3 of the show. But we'll talk about Mike Tomlin and more. He's Jay. I'm Austin. More Nebraska ball chatter after this.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines. Now boarding. Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Don't wait. The clock is ticking at Landmark Implement's annual inventory reduction sale. For a limited time, get special financing as low as 1.9% for 12 months, then 6.2% interest for 48 months on select equipment. No auction, no waiting, just inventory price to move. Once it's gone, it's gone. Visit Landmark Implement or shop online at landmarkimp.com. Then click on the featured used equipment and experience the Landmark difference.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings, thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Husker Nation, the countdown is on for the biggest women's basketball event of the year, PAC PBA, coming up January 24th. This year, we're heating things up with the Big Red Beach Party. Watch your Huskers take on Big Ten opponent Illinois, decked out in your best tropical gear, with a specialty tropical drink in hand, all inside Pinnacle Bank Arena. PAC PBA is your tropical getaway right here in Lincoln. Get your tickets today at huskers.com/PACPBA.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sauterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. That's right. Welcome back in. It is Old School 93.7 The Ticket, brought to you by Graham Tire. Austin Orman, Jay Foreman with you. Everyone's favorite. It's Whiteboard Wednesday. If you're listening on your radio, if you're in your car, pull over, right? Find a parking spot. Get to it. Get to our Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter accounts if you're in your car, on your desktop, whatever. If you're at home, pull up Allo Channel 961. We got 3 plays to go over here in the course of the next 15 minutes or so. We'll go through them here pretty quickly, but I think 3 plays. One of these, the first one on defense, doesn't end well for Nebraska, but I do think it was worth talking through maybe how some teams could attack Nebraska in the future, but also maybe what Nebraska did well and that Oregon just beat them with. So this first play here, Jay, is Nebraska and Oregon tied at 7 in the first half. And what we have is Wei Lin, no relation to Jeremy Lin, different players, different people. He's on the right wing in front of Nebraska's bench, driving baseline just like Nebraska wants. Being guarded by Braden Frager, who's pushing him down low to rink mass. Now, one question that I had here was,
Why is Rink Mast the guy that's in help there? He's getting outside the lane. He's coming up on that right block instead of Price Sanford, especially with a guy like Nate Biddle who can shoot. But that's Nebraska's scheme. They like to have that big man being part of the trap and then whoever's guarding the ball handle. So that's just kind of the setup for this. We get to the next frame, and this is one that I'm sure will come up in a film for Nebraska, the trap. This is not Nebraska's best trap. Frager is on the floor, which is good, but his hands are low, and he's still getting to the trap. He's a little bit late on the top side. Rink Mast, his feet are really wide. Now he and Frager have their feet pretty close together. You can look kind of by Sam Hoiberg and his headband down there to see where they are. I circled it if you're watching. But that trap isn't affecting Wei Lin in any meaningful way. He does leave his feet to make this pass, and jump passes are always scary, especially against traps. You know this, you coach, you teach your players, I'm sure, to stay under control. But, Jay, look at all the space there in the middle of the floor. I mean, that is a lot of real estate where there's no one. No one for Nebraska to take anything away. That's a very clear, direct path to one of two players, right? Wei Lin, when he's in the air, he has number 4 cutting into the middle of the lane, or he can make that straight line pass out to Nate Biddle standing wide open at the top of the key. The things to highlight here for Nebraska is you essentially have 2 guys guarding 3 players here, which is part of the scheme, right? You have Price Sanford down low. He's taking away that baseline skip. If Price Sanford was the guy in the trap and Rink Mast was up top, then that's a simpler read then for Wei Lin to either hit the cutter at number 4 or make that to an open shooter in the corner. Simpkins not a great shooter, but you don't like giving up corner threes. Those are pretty high value looks. So Price Sanford is doing his job. Sam Hoiberg is gapped up between those 2 Oregon players in the corner in the wing. But there's Nate Biddle standing wide open at the top of the key. This is a high 30s% 3-point shooter who went, I think, 2 of 4 in the game the other night. So not a guy that you want to leave alone necessarily. As we go to the next frame, you'll see that Wei Lin ends up making that pass up top, and Nate Biddle's wide open, spaced out beyond the arc. And Nebraska now has 2 guys in some sort of position to do something, but still a long way away. It's a long closeout for Sam Hoiberg, who's south of the elbow, to get all the way out to Nate Biddle. And then same thing for Jamarcus Lawrence, who now that he's there, not really Jamarcus's responsibility. Sam takes charge, he's talking, and Jamarcus Lawrence is kind of in this gap right here and getting ready to recover out to that guy. So Sam Hoiberg is busting his butt to get up to the top of the key. And I think Sam Hoiberg here, Jay, ends up doing the smart thing. I know you're about a few seconds behind me, but Sam Hoiberg is running Nate Biddle off the line. He's not just doing that kind of Luke Cornett contest where he's just going to jump from the middle of the lane and let him have it. Biddle's a good enough 3-point shooter that you do want to try to affect him. I'm sure it was in the scouting report, or I'll give Sam the benefit of the doubt that it was in the scouting report, to run Nate Biddle off the 3-point line, or at least make him put it on the deck, right? And we'll go to the next frame here, and you see that Nate Biddle does take that shot fake, and he does take that dribble, and it does result in an open 3 that he ends up hitting, which is a win for Oregon. But Nebraska made that a much tougher shot than it could have been, even though he's got a clean look at the rim. What Sam Hoiberg did by flying out the way he did and making Biddle take a shot fake and take that kind of sidestep relocation dribble was force a big man to put the ball on the floor, to set his feet again, and then dare him to hit that shot. So this looks like a wide open 3. Like, Sam's not contesting that, and only a few Nebraska players are looking at him, but there's a lot of space between Nate Biddle and anyone else that could have possibly come out and attempted to affect that shot. So if you're Nebraska, it ends up in an open 3, not your best defensive process, but I still think that this isn't, a double minus maybe in the scout, because if a big man's going to take an off the dribble, sidestep relocation 3, that's fine, because you didn't give up just a straight step in 3.
Yeah, and that's what you want. You want that extra effort, and you want him to be uncomfortable. And obviously, he's their best player. You knew it coming in to the game. He's been a pretty consistent player in the Big Ten. Obviously, he's a stretch 4 or 5. And letting him catch and shoot in rhythm with a little bit of, I guess, mishap as far as your defensive personnel, I guess, where they're at in the rotation. And then you have an extra effort play right here by Sam Hoiberg. And sometimes he might still make it, right? But over the test of time throughout the season, this type of play and this type of mindset pays off for you. That's how you become 17-0.
Yeah.
And that's an example of it right there.
And even though it didn't matter because Biddle ended up making the shot, I did want to highlight, this is, I think, a great job of paying attention to the scouting report by Nebraska. When the shot goes up from Biddle, and the ball's in the hoop if you're not able to see it, but as the shot goes up, Jamarcus Lawrence has a body.
Yeah.
Price Sanford has a body. Rink Mast has a body. Sam Hoiberg didn't just stop by Biddle at the top of the key. He came from essentially behind Nate Biddle, got to the elbow, and Braden Frager sees that Wei Lin, the guy that he was guarding, has essentially eschewed offensive rebounding, is starting to go back up court. And so Frager gets in there. Jay, this is how Nebraska allows 0 offensive rebounds in a half, and then really none in money time. Is, okay, you gave up an open shot. Yeah, the guy hit it, but they didn't just stand around. They still got a body. And this was at 10-7. Nebraska set the tone early that, hey, you're not just going to get, put back dunks on. You're not just going to walk into the lane. We're going to hit you. Even though it didn't matter, I thought this was good, scouting report game plan process by Nebraska.
It was excellent. Now, you need to be the best rebounding teams are team rebounding. Or team rebound as a team, and that's what you like, right? You did what you needed to do. You had the extra effort play, but the principles of what they've instilled this year to a higher magnitude and the players have accepted is on a display right here. This is a teaching tape right here. Not every time that you go to a coach's clinic or one of the assistants go to a coach's clinic, you put up hey, this is how we did, backdoor cut all day against Oregon or whatever.
Right.
Defensively, this is how you talk about how you make a jump. Well, you talk about buy-in, you talk about culture. You just put that up right there. You don't even have to worry about what you put up before. That's it right there.
Next play then, defense leading to offense in a crucial moment for Nebraska. So right now, at this portion of the game, this play that we're at, it's 28-28. Oregon had just scored to take the lead or to tie the game, and Nebraska missed on its possession to retake the lead. So empty possession for Nebraska, and Wei Lin, who I believe has hit a couple threes at this point, is handling the ball here in transition. Things to point out. Number one, Braden Frager is committed to stopping the ball and stopping it high. Not even with Lin. He's in front of him. He's in a good stance. Sam Hoiberg sees that Lin has that ball exposed, that Frager has Lin's left hand pretty well covered. You can see Sam Hoiberg's eyes. He's looking there at Lin, right? Lin, who's ahead of everyone else on Oregon, who is going to have a hard time kind of snaking this to pull it back out. I think Sam Hoiberg identified here, hey, I'm going to have a chance at this one to get a steal. Moving on to the next frame, that's exactly what ends up happening, right? Yeah, Lin's trying to cross over, but Sam Hoiberg is there making life difficult in the pile. 2 Nebraska guys on 1 Oregon guy who has no vision on anything else going on around him in the court. Jamarcus Lawrence streaking down court as well. So you can call this 3-on-3 if you want to, but advantage Nebraska. The next frame then, Jay, I think is probably the most important frame of this play, along with the next one. Yeah, you get the steal, you get the hand on it from Sam after Frager stops the ball. But Jamarcus Lawrence did real hustle. He didn't fake hustle. He's in the scrum, but he didn't have to go to the floor to get the ball.
Yeah.
You see 24 is kind of coming to a stop. He's trying to get down to get the ball, and maybe it's just a lucky bounce. Maybe it's, quote-unquote fumble luck for Nebraska. But Jamarcus Lawrence not having to go to the floor to get this ball, within a second and a half, you see the trail guy from Oregon is just kind of standing straight up and down. Within a second and a half, look how far down the court Jamarcus Lawrence is and how much ground he's made up on that trail guy. Jamarcus Lawrence was in here, the Big Ten logo, and in 2 dribbles, he's here.
Yeah.
This trailer that's even with Frager might have been kind of at that thumbnail area. That's, again, maybe it's just luck. Maybe it just kind of happened that way. But I'm going to give senior point guard Jamarcus Lawrence some credit for situational awareness, knowing he could pick that ball up, turn and go, and start the fast break.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you look at the one where he got into the lane, I guess he talked to when I used to coach is I talk about, look, man, you got to jump in that fight. There's a brawl going on. Don't sit there and watch. Get in there because you just never know when the ball will bounce your way. And then now all is forgotten that you had an empty possession. Mm-hmm. Now, just by the hustle, right? And just by doing what you've been coached to do and playing through the whistle, but playing as hard as you can, now you're back on the fast break. And I like our numbers right there. When you look at it right now, they're probably,
Nebraska's got
3-on-1, like 3-on-1.5 if you want to count that guy up there that's trailing Burke.
Yeah, this guy.
Because he's even with Jamarcus about. But I like our numbers right there.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly where we're going with the rest of this play. So this guy, come on, Penn. This fellow right here, yep, is the one that, again, this is a senior point guard play, knowing your personnel, who's on the floor with you. Yeah. I don't love the spacing here between Jamarcus Lawrence and Price Sanford, but it's fine pretty early into a fast break. Jamarcus Lawrence isn't going to give this ball up or shouldn't give this ball up to Berkay, right? Jamarcus is the decision maker here with the ball in his hands. It's not a great decision, even if Berkay is a little bit ahead of him, to give him that ball with that many dribbles he could potentially take. That probably stymies the fast break. Berkay might take one or two kind of probe dribbles, and that's that. But we set up the 3-on-1 then that you were talking about, Jay, in our very next frame. You have Jamarcus Lawrence getting ready to make that shovel pass to Price Sanford there on the right wing. Nate Biddle's camped out in the middle of the paint, and that guy you talked about trailing, Berkay, might have been able to get a hand on that pass, depending on where Jamarcus Lawrence threw it, because he's flying back down the court. The other guy flying back down the court was the guy who was flat-footed toward the top of the key, number 24. He sees what's going on. He identifies the threat in Sanford. He's busting his butt, maybe trying to get a tip from behind wolf steal on Jamarcus Lawrence. He's not quite able to catch up. But then this next frame, I think, is really where the magic happens. So Lawrence is shuffling it off to Price Sanford right now. In the next frame, the guy that was trailing, 24, is even with Price Sanford, and then the magic happens. He's going full speed. He's trying to make up for it. It's a tie game with a top 10 team on the road. You're trying to impact the game and give your team some hustle, some energy, which he does. But Jay, he took himself out of the play. And this is where Nebraska's lack of athleticism, in some cases, helps it, right? Because Price Sanford is able to come to a stop, right? He's the reliable Subaru who can just come to a stop right there. 24 might be a souped-up sports car, but he's more worried about the gas pedal instead of the brakes. And he ends up with like a good 3 feet or more of separation, maybe like 4 feet of separation, because he over-hustled, because he couldn't come to a stop, because he was trying too hard to make the splash play of get the steal. Hey, look what I did. I poked it out. I stopped the fast break. Price Sanford was hot. He'd already hit a 3, maybe 2 in this game. He hits this one here. I mean, there's no one in his vision, no one in his line of sight. It's just him in the rim. This is a practice shot. And the reason this is an important shot, Jay, this kickstarts the 14-2 run to end the half. This puts Nebraska up 31-28. It's this 3 from Sanford, 2 from Hoiberg. I guess 2 more 3s from Sanford after this, and then a Frager 3. It's defense in transition, simple stuff becoming big stuff, leading to leveraging your strengths and being able to stop and start and hit the 3.
And that's the big difference, is the cause and effect. And you see that all the time in football. What led up to a, busting open the dam as far as the Nebraska offense goes, and everybody's going to look at, and they're just going to look at that 3, right? And this is the 3. It is a big 3, but that 3 was set up by Braden Frager doing a really good job of stopping the ball or potentially stopping the ball early. Then you had, I think, Hoiberg getting back, right? So where he was kind of able to double team. Then Jamarcus Lawrence came out of the screen, into the screen, got the steal, came right back, set up his, obviously, Sanford. And then Sanford had enough wherewithal. He played fast, but not in a hurry, didn't panic. Let him fly right by, hit the airlock brakes on him, a la, Top Gun. And now you essentially have an extended free throw. For a 3-point shooter like him, you're more surprised if he doesn't swish it versus whether he makes it or misses. So right there, it's an easy shot right there. He can get right into his he's in his shot zone right there. And just that one play right there, pretty much broke open the game and won the game. Didn't look back ever since.
And then one more just for good measure. Nebraska's up 61-41 at this point. Wei Lin, you see highlighted there at the bottom, guarding Sam Hoiberg, had just hit a 3 at the 11-10 mark of the second half. And that comes up because Nebraska gets the ball into Cale Jacobson. He dribbles it up, passes to Price Sanford there on the left slot, and Nebraska immediately flows into its 2-man action with Rink Mast, who did miss, extended periods of the game with foul trouble, and Price Sanford, who was hot. So Sanford has the ball, a relatively high pick and roll there at the top of the screen. 22's trying to fight over it. Then you have 2 semi-engaged defenders. Our next frame here is Price Sanford pulling up to shoot. And if you're watching this live, or you're not as familiar with basketball, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, this is a heat check from Price Sanford. What's he doing taking this one? You can work it around. You can get a better shot if you're Nebraska. I mean, his defenders trailing and in the screen, you can't fully see Price Sanford. You have 2 other defenders that are both staring right at him. But Jay, this is where there's a difference between playing defense and being on defense. Oregon was on defense right here. They weren't playing defense. 22's given some effort to trail that screen and get over top. But you see, by the time Price Sanford has the ball out of his hand, big man's not looking at him. 22 is still on the floor. And there's a really half-hearted contest from the guy that was in the gap guarding Cale Jacobson, who would score, I think, the next 7 points for Nebraska after this bucket. And these angles are pretty good, but the next two angles, I think, really sum it up. And this is an open shot in the Big Ten, especially for someone like Price Sanford, who had hit multiple threes at this point. He doesn't see 22. 22's behind him. The big is giving a lot of room for Price Sanford to give a little extended dribble and essentially just walk into that catch and shoot three, even though it's off the dribble. And then this defender in the gap is half-hearted. He's looking at Price Sanford, but he's not coming to double.
Yeah.
He's saying, oh, I'm just kind of standing here. And you can see it in the next frame as well. By the time Price Sanford is shooting, there's no hand in his face. Yes, there are bodies around him. And yeah, you got to be a good shooter to have confidence to take this one. But Price's guy isn't affecting him. Price Sanford doesn't see him. This big man, not challenging Price Sanford at all. He's in kind of drop coverage. He's more concerned about rink mass rolling to the rim. And the guy in the gap on Cale Jacobson, Price isn't concerned about it. He wasn't up in his grill. He didn't give a hard feint to try to take that shot away. His hand is at Sanford's hip right now. That doesn't bother a shooter like Price Sanford at all, especially not a guy that was on a heater like Price Sanford was. So in live action, you might think, man, kind of a heat check from Sanford. What's he doing shooting that one? But in the Big Ten, that passes as an open shot, especially for a guy that high.
No, this is a practice drill right here. And this is what you talked about. Like, you either want to play defense or you want to defend. And they're making it look like that. I mean, to be honest with you, if it's number 24, I would tell him, like, okay, well, you got a guy that's been shooting the three at a pretty good clip all year, and that's what he does, right? And Price Sanford, and he's on a heater. I'd rather make Sanford give the ball up to Cale Jacobson, and we'll live with him either trying to dribble or drive it to the rack or him open three. Nothing against Cale.
Yeah, but you're playing the percentage.
We're going to play the percentage. We're going to take away your best player.
Yeah,
you chose to watch and then obviously not put your hand up or get off the ground once you know that he's in the shot to try to get up and contest it. This is a wide open shooting drill. This is a practice drill. They work on this probably all the time, coming off a pick and roll. Somebody in their back hip, and that's what you got. Two shoe links right there. You got to pull it, especially when you're tall enough. Yeah. If Sanford was 6 foot guard, it would probably a shot you don't want to take in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
right. Unless you're right. But when you're 6'7", 6'8", and you got a quick trigger like him, this is all day. He don't even feel that.
No,
he don't even feel that.
It's a walk-in.
Yeah, it's a walk-in.
Yeah. So the other part of that, right? I mentioned that Lynn hit that three for Oregon to bring it to a 20-point game at 11-10. This ball went through the basket for Price Sanford at 10:58. Quick strike for Nebraska. A couple games ago, they were maybe a little hesitant.
Yeah.
You know, let's work for a better shot. But with Sanford feeling it to the tune of 7 threes, Frager would hit a couple after this point. I mean, not that Oregon had any life down 20 with 11 to go on the road, but if they were going to, if Lynn was going to try to shoot him back into it, one possession later, like 12 seconds later, early shot clock, you get this open of a shot. That's an indictment on Oregon and a testament to how good a shooting team Nebraska can be.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. I had a coach named Juan Dixon, and he'd always say,
"Is he all up in your?"
He was, but no, he would. He'd always say, "Are you going to answer the call?" And that's what exactly Price did. So Lynn hit it. It's all for nothing. A defensive breakdown.
And it was a contested one from Lynn. Yeah. Hoiberg was there on the catch, was in his face and everything.
But that's a momentum three if they defend.
Yeah.
If Oregon does. Now you didn't defend, so it's all for nothing. That great shot on a contested three gives you that good feeling. Let's do it some more. Then you turn around and just get your head busted in. 8 seconds later.
Yeah. 90-55, Nebraska wins it. This has been Whiteboard Wednesday. White Boy Wednesday wraps up hour 2.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
Is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with the bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G165184, $2,500 down with proof credit.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sauterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new Delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome back in to Old School. Austin Foreman, Jay Foreman with you. This segment brought to you by Love Volleyball Nebraska. Just had their home opener on Sunday. They take down Love Houston in 5 sets. To catch all the action, see some former Huskers like Lexi Rodriguez, Jordan Larson, and more in action. You can go to lovbnev.com. Get your single match tickets today before it's too late. From Whiteboard Wednesday to White Boy Wednesday. Last segment was kind of White Boy Wednesday. Talk about Price Sanford and Braden Frager doing what they did to the Oregon Ducks. But Jay, a special World Cup shout out to Chris Horn of USA Bobsled. Did you see the video from the World Cup? Okay, so Chris Horn was the driver on the Team USA 4-man bobsled team. He makes it in the sled. Not a single one of his other 3 teammates made it in the sled.
Yeah,
I got the picture up there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not familiar with bobsled. Like, I'm not Kirk Tomasevich, but I know that's not what bobsled's supposed to look
No, it's
like.
not. I did see that. Yeah, you talk about panic.
My man is hurtling down this ice track in a bobsled at 75 miles per hour. He's got to like shimmy himself back in the sled to pull the brakes.
Yeah.
And he does that on his own throughout the course of the event. Obviously, did not go well for Team USA, but to be the only one that makes it in the sled, to go down at 75 miles per hour on hard packed ice, and to be able to like shimmy his way back to pull the brakes and like not.
It's talking about being on your toes. Just imagine the panic. Hey, where y'all at? Because you know they're all
Where
used
my
to.
boys?
Yeah. Where you at? One gone. Okay, we could deal with that. 3? Just imagine that conversation at the bottom of the hill. Where you guys been? How was your? Hey, you did a good job. Yeah, I know I did.
Well, they're like riding down with him.
Yeah,
They,
I know they're
slide down the
sliding.
track
You
behind
saw
him.
them, and then they all of a sudden go out of the frame because they're just trying to like glide themselves down. That was actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, so shout out to Chris Horn for not getting seriously injured.
The ultimate teammate, and also let you know that it is a team sport. And I mean, it does happen. I mean, that stuff probably happens in training, and you hate to do it during trial.
Oh man!
And now you're viral.
Straight viral.
But so is he.
This is like Marshawn Lynch Beastquake bobsled version.
Oh my god!
Put the team on my back.
You know what that's like? It's a 4x1 relay, and you're fumbling the baton, and then you lose by like a length, and that's exactly what happened.
I mean, the only guy that got out of the blocks here was your lead leg.
Yeah, it was your lead leg. The only guy that couldn't mess it up, and you guys messed it up, immediately.
Tough scenes for USA bobsled, but an iconic picture that will stay with us forever. A guy that will not stay with the Pittsburgh Steelers forever, Mike Tomlin.
Man.
Steps down after 19 years at the helm. Let's get Jay Foreman's reaction to that. This is Old School, brought to you by Graham Tire. Hour 3 of the show after this.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with a bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G165184. 2,500 down with proof credit.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and it's that time of the year again. Time for the annual Happy Honda Days at Honda of Lincoln. With me on the line, Andy Goodyear, to tell us all about it.
The exciting news is we have more selection and more savings. We have over 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from, with a great opportunity to get year-end savings on every remaining new 2025.
Do you have some Happy Honda Day specials?
Sure do, Charlie. For example, you can lease a new 2025 Accord Sport Hybrid for just $349 a month, and we have financing from just 0% APR. We've also included over 125 pre-owned of all makes and models. And as always, our certified pre-owns are in this sale as well.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to the Spring Equipment and Technology Clinic February 3rd through the 5th at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney. New this year, the planter and sprayer clinics are combined into one streamlined, hands-on event built around growers' time and needs. Get expert training on John Deere planters and sprayers on topics including maintenance, technology, and autonomy. Don't miss it. February 3rd through the 5th in Kearney. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for details.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
It's the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Come see trophy deer, hunting seminars, hunting and outdoor exhibitors, a 3D archery tournament, enter the blind giveaway, and more. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate, January 16th, 17th, and 18th. Learn more at NebraskaDeerandGameExpo.com and find them on Facebook. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th in Lincoln.
I am Harrison Arns, producer of Ticket Weeknights and Weekends right here at 93.7 The Ticket. My favorite things to do in downtown Lincoln are checking out all the local sports events, whether it's basketball, football, volleyball, or even Lincoln Stars hockey. I enjoy it all because I get to experience one of the best sports communities in the country.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of January, because get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying, let's sit around the table, let's drop some plans, let's put numbers together, let's get a budget put together, and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln, this is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Coy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score! Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts, answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln. Your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, hour 3? Jay Foreman, 5 o'clock hour. My main man, Austin Orman, old school to new school. We got a little bit more sunlight than we usually have here, Austin. I don't know what's going on. Maybe we're taking the turn for the better here. A lot going on. Obviously, you know, the news of the day or potentially news of the day is Dante Moore coming back and what that potentially could mean for Dylan Raiola, you know, eventually when he does or if he's up at Oregon, you know, potentially being his backup for this year coming forward. Potential, or we had the Matt Rule, I think he was on somebody else's podcast or radio show, obviously giving his opinion on, you know, potential Mike Eckler, you know, moving on. And then obviously Nebraska basketball, you know, lit the Big Ten on fire last night and put everybody on notice what potentially they could happen very soon at a town in an arena near you. But on the professional level, something that you could see coming, but never thought it would happen. And it happened, and it surprised Mr. Rooney as well. And you listen to his press conference that Mike Tomlin has decided to step down as the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. Obviously, a heartbreaking loss, and not heartbreaking, but a bad loss at home after a exciting victory against the Baltimore Ravens to win it and get in, thinking that once you're in the tournament, anybody can win. Decided very quickly, so that lets you know that he was thinking this for a long, long time. Ultimate, professional. You got a standing ovation. This is the first time in Pittsburgh Steelers history that they are about to face what the Buffalo Bills face when you lose a figurehead and a great head coach, and you now have to try to reset your identity, and there isn't anybody in the coaches pool that is a Pittsburgh Steeler head coach right now.
Right.
That's what they're facing. Mike Tomlin will coach again. He said he's just going to probably step away for a year. I could see him maybe jumping back in if it's somewhere warm, and Pittsburgh will get some compensation. But what you lost on top of that loss, they will feel for the foreseeable future. Mike Tomlin's a Hall of Fame coach. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see what his second chapter in his head coaching career will be like and what he does there.
Assuming there is one. I mean, the previous Steelers coach before him was supposed to take a break and then never return from sabbatical.
Yeah, Bill Cowher has some other stuff going.
Well,
but Mike Tomlin needs to coach again.
Yeah,
the NFL needs Mike Tomlin.
Yeah,
on many levels, and there's a lot of organizations that need Mike Tomlin.
Yeah,
I think he doesn't get enough credit for his coaching acumen because everybody hears the funny quotes and all that at the
players coach, emotional leadership,
emotional leadership, and that's really lazy work by saying that. I think it's a thing that you hope a coach like Mike Tomlin gets to be like Chuck Noll and Bill Cowher, and then once they're done coaching, they're done coaching. Mm-hmm. I think in some ways Mike Tomlin, went to the well too much, trusted some players too much, got let down. They made a name for themselves from Hines Ward, to the Antonio Brown and those guys, late round draft choices, and then they kind of developed them into Hall of Fame players or potential Hall of Fame players. And then they went back to that well too much, but then the type of player that came in the league was different, right? Mm-hmm. You think about Bryant, the one that came from Texas, it was a knucklehead. Yeah. The one from Notre Dame, knucklehead. Obviously, the dude at Dallas, knucklehead, Pickens. Mm-hmm. So there's 3 high draft choices that you drafted based on potential, and they never came to fruition. And then also, when you rode with Ben Roethlisberger so long, and late in his career, probably weren't able to bring in a viable backup. And then every draft pick they went for in the draft, in the most important position was quarterback, wasn't even in the top half of the league at any point.
No.
And that's what they needed. The defense would always be there. The special teams would always be there. The Pittsburgh aura and the standard would be there. But the quarterback position is what really let them down. And I think that's where people really just started to put the spotlight on him and saying he can't coach. And whereas, I think it was probably a GM decision maker draft or potentially the trade, what never really came to fruition. You tried to band-aid some things with Russell Wilson and all that and Justin Fields, but it never seemed to fit. And that's where you knew the end was coming very soon. And he probably knew it. And I think also he's probably going to take some time to do some things that maybe he wanted to do, but then also make his second coming of his coaching career in the NFL better than the first.
Do you know the last time Mike Tomlin won a playoff game in Pittsburgh?
It has been, I saw it. Barack Obama was the president, right?
Right? Would have been right after.
Well, I saw
2 weeks after Inauguration Day
of Barack Obama, right?
I think it would have been Trump. It was January 2017.
That he's won a playoff game?
Yes.
I thought that he's lost.
Because they beat the Chiefs 18-16. On January 15th, 20-17, the game they only kicked field goals.
Right.
That's his last playoff win. Because the next year they get the top seed, they get upset by the Jags.
So they've lost 7 years in a row. So you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 7 years in a row.
Well, and they didn't even make the playoffs all those years because they went 9-6-1, 8-8, missed the playoffs after they were 13-3. That was the beginning of the end of Roethlisberger. He goes out. Rudolph's their leading passer. You get those 2 last years. They win the division at 12-4, and then second in the division at 9-7, losing the wild card. Missed the playoffs, losing the wild card the last 2 years. Do win the division, and then losing the wild card this year again.
There's been some time, and they have 5 of the last losses have been by double digits, or all 7 by double digits.
Ooh, I can look this up.
That's where it really hurts them, and especially when you win a Super Bowl early in your tenure, then that's going to be what you're judged on. And look, man,
Pittsburgh's losses by 14. By 2, by 10, by 15, by 3, by 19, by 7, and then by 24.
Yeah. It's something where I saw where his losses have been by double digits, and maybe it was 5 out of the 7. So people start to look at the numbers and try to, your time has passed. I always find it's funny that people say, oh well, your message or it's gotten stale. No, you guys forgot to listen. You're going to tell that to Andy Reid now? That 1 year that he didn't make the playoffs, he's ready. Is you ready to throw him out to the pasture now? He's won everywhere he's been. He's built up organizations. He's won with different type of quarterbacks as far as Andy Reid.
And now the longest tenured coach in the NFL for the second time in his career.
And so now you're going to be like, his message is stale. But then here's what you want to do is try to find the next 30-some year old, wonder boy to, try to kickstart your offense, even though you don't have a quarterback now. Your offensive line is still a work in progress. And then obviously you don't really have a bell cow at running back. And now all you have is DJ Metcalf as a receiver.
Yeah.
And Freiermuth is a good tight end. So it's sad to see him go for this year. It wasn't probably the way he wanted to go out. And obviously he was tied to Aaron Rodgers, and obviously Mr. Rooney said that's probably it. And so it's a total reset in Pittsburgh. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Cam Hayward, who had a Pro Bowl year again, and he kind of had to push them to get to pay him.
Yeah.
What happens with T.J. Watt now, right? Because those 2 guys are Hall of Famers, especially T.J. Watt.
Yeah.
Cam Hayward is kind of like with Ndamukong, right? It's like when they finally get around to recognizing him. And a couple other players, whether it's Derek Queen and all those guys, and obviously Jalen Ramsey as well, right? A lot of those guys were tied to Mike Tomlin, but tied to Pittsburgh in the winning ways. They all know it's over. So it's going to be interesting to see what Pittsburgh does, but then what their veterans do. Because it's not nobody at this point in their career of all those guys, the
guys you mentioned.
Yeah. And want to be part of a reset.
Yeah, I mean, the defensive guys haven't really been the issue kind of until it gets to the playoffs, and then it's all kind of unraveled. And I know Houston got the 2 defensive touchdowns that make the numbers look worse from the wild card game specifically. But the offense hasn't done anything of recognition since 2018.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been almost a decade since the offense was even, top
dangerous.
Half of the league dangerous. Exactly. What would you do, Jay, if you're the GM in Pittsburgh? Are you going full rebuild, full reset? Are you clearing up cap space by getting Watt and or Hayward and or Ramsey off the books? Are you trading up to try to get a quarterback in this draft because you think you can find one? What are you doing? Are you going full rebuild? Are you saying we're close enough, we just got to tinker around the edges?
I think they're close enough if they kept the team, like the majority of the pieces as where they're at, right?
And if they kept Tomlin?
No.
Or are they further away now that they got rid of Tomlin?
I think they're further away now that they got Tomlin left, because I think if you could do what I'm saying, okay, I'm telling you this right now, like I could see them drafting a quarterback, but who could we trade for that still has a couple years?
Yeah.
Right. Who could we legitimately trade for that can stay healthy? That's probably a little bit more mobile, that needs maybe Pittsburgh structure, that could be dangerous, right? Now, there's plenty of options out there. Not plenty, but there's some options out there with the same team. Could you Pocket Hercules. If you can get him with his mind right, you kind of did that with Russell Wilson, but I'm talking about his escapability and his ability to throw. Okay, maybe not Pocket Hercules. Like, who could you get out there that could really provide some veteran leadership, play the position of quarterback, so you can spend all your time and resources trying to get some explosiveness into that offense. Furthermore, Arthur Smith does not need to be the offensive coordinator.
No.
Because I think part of the problem of what you saw offensively was an aging quarterback with an archaic offensive system.
Yeah.
So Aaron Rodgers, even with the last year Jets offense and offensive coordinator, now granted, their skill position guys are probably a little bit better. You get a better offensive output.
Mm-hmm.
We might not be having this conversation right now.
Yeah, I mean, Tomlin never found his OC in the back half of his tenure, never found the quarterback. Let's go through some of those names. I like the idea of Kyler Murray, except that they tried Russell Wilson, and they're two different personalities.
Two different guys. And he's young. I was just saying Kyler Murray because he's younger,
right?
And probably Arizona wants to move on.
Right. I think it's worth a shot, worth a look if you're Pittsburgh. Is Mac Jones a Shanahan guy? Is that where he's going to be most successful? Do you take a flyer on a younger guy like that, think he can be your Sam Darnold? Or do you want to take the upside swing? What do you give Indy for Anthony Richardson? They're clearly done with him. If you want some, dynamic ability at that position, trust me, if anyone, I know that he's got a long way to go.
Yeah.
But talk about structure and standards. I think Mike Tomlin would have been a great coach for Anthony Richardson to get the best out of him. But if you can get I assume play calling head coach, I assume Pittsburgh's going to want to, improve that offense from where it's been. I think when you think Pittsburgh, you still think about that defense, and maintaining that will always be priority number one. Whether it's an offensive-minded head coach that gets a trusted defensive play caller, or a defensive-minded head coach that's going to keep that side of the ball in line, maybe like a Brian Flores, who Mike Tomlin has said was the best coach in the NFL, had a head coaching job. Can Brian Flores bring in an offensive coordinator that he trusts to work with whoever that next quarterback is? Because there's enough talent there in Pittsburgh that's got to be a middle third of the league at worst offense, if not even pushing for like top half or borderline top.
And the rest of the division is still ripe for the pick.
Oh, yes. They won it this year.
Right. And
with all their
Cincinnati,
issues.
They can't stop a nosebleed, and that they're crumbling from within.
Yeah.
Cleveland is Cleveland. And then Baltimore just fired their head coach. So that's where I look at it a little bit weird, is that once Harbaugh, I would probably kept Tomlin and tried to convince him for one more year. Now I look at it like even a little bit deeper. What could you possibly do with a Geno Smith? Maybe okay that, right? What could you do with a Mac Jones? I think that Mac Jones and going to San Francisco is probably the better version than Mac Jones that got coached by Matt Patricia and Joe Judge up there in New England. Now also, let's not forget, down in Atlanta. Now I know he's not mobile as much anymore, but for what they need to do offensively, on time, on target, veteran quarterback, Kirk Cousins, like that, right? Showed some life at the end of the season.
Would they be a player for Malik Willis?
Yeah, Malik Willis. I was also thinking guys that it was kind of shown a little bit. Remember, like Joe Milton. Now he's down in Dallas. Right now, you got to work with Jerry Jones, but Dak Prescott's not going anywhere. If I'm on the phone with Joe Milton. I'm trying to get you a shot. Now, if you're trying to win now, that's why I think Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
But that's where they're in a catch-22. You're trying to you can tell the team that you're trying to win, but the team knows by whoever is the head coach and the quarterback what you're doing. Veterans know it. Those veterans don't want to go through a reset in Pittsburgh, especially after winning a division and possibly being able to win it next year, just with their cast of characters that they have right now.
Would you define Pittsburgh as one of those 8 teams trying to win it all every year?
I think they're trying to win every year. I think obviously trying to win it all, I think it's predicated on the quarterback play. But they're a organization that they're trying to win every year.
They're too proud to tank in a lot of ways. Which is commendable.
Yeah.
But maybe also to their detriment.
Right.
If they're ever going to do it, they have to make up their mind ASAP.
Right. And you have to be patient. But I'm telling you, what they're used to, I'm going to tell you this right now. Is the same thing I told my friend at the University of Tennessee when they were mad at Philip Fulmer. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Be careful what you put out there. And be careful of who you run off, because what you get next might be, at this point in time, for a long-time Pittsburgh Steelers fan, 4 or 5 years of pure hell. Just like that. you will be referencing, well, man, he was able to Band-Aid with Aaron Rodgers that was 40-some years old and win it.
Yeah.
Or he was supposed to do that. He was the ultimate in consistency. That's what they'll be screaming for if the next coach doesn't work out right away.
Well, that made Baltimore both.
And, yeah, for sure. And Baltimore. And it's based off you potentially could lose your roster. I mean, you got to think you think Cam Hayward's going to deal with a rookie head coach? One of all these guys that you have coming in here?
You are sorely mistaken.
He's probably older than some of these young guys. Like I think the Los Angeles Rams passing game coordinator.
Fieldhouse, former
I think
Illinois
Cam
guy.
Hayward's a little older than him.
I assume, yeah.
And then Jalen Ramsey.
Close.
I mean, he's a Pro Bowler. He's a guy that wants to try to chase his Super Bowl. I mean, he's won and stuff like that. But that's what they're playing for right now. Patrick Queen is probably coming into his own. All these guys are trying to, Fairmouth. He's trying to. I mean, he's a veteran. You don't want to go through what happens when you reset it. So they're in a little bit of a catch-22, and it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here, and then also what the next move is for Tomlin. Do you just take a whole year off, or do you do some draft stuff and then kind of dip your toe in there, kind of do the Sean Payton thing, and then eventually you get to pick where you want to go? Because actually, for Mike Tomlin, his next choice can be more informed because you get to get all the inside information and you can kind of make your deal as the season goes on. Hey, Austin. Hey man, you guys are about 4-8. You want to get dinner? I'm calling the game. I'll be in town.
Right, yeah.
You want to get dinner? Sure. Hey, hey man, I like Arizona or whatever. It's nice. Yeah, man.
You think
I got family down. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, who's your agent again? There you go. And then that's how it can work. But man.
And Mud Dog asked, where's the best fit for Tomlin? Just weird to think of him not in Pittsburgh. I'm going to go a slightly different direction. Number one, Jay, also very important for Pittsburgh not to rip all that fabric out. In 3 coaches in 60 years.
Yeah.
That's nuts, right? So it doesn't have to be Tomlin tree, doesn't have to be Pittsburgh guy or bust, but you got to find someone.
You got to make the right choice
that fits. I mean, shoot, Tomlin was a relative unknown as Vikings DC.
Yeah.
Before they hired him, they nailed that choice. It worked out really well for them. So it doesn't have to be a known name, just has to be the right choice. But the flip side of that is, where's the best fit for Tomlin? As long as Tomlin's allowed to run his program, I think anywhere can be a good fit for him. I think to your point, the NFL is better with Mike Tomlin, and if the GM and the owner let him do Mike Tomlin things, he can reverse their fortunes quicker than you might think because he knows the blueprint.
You know who needs Mike Tomlin right now? Arthur Blank.
Yeah.
You know who needs Mike Tomlin right now? Atlanta. The city of Atlanta and the Falcons. They need Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
They really do. It might be a year too early because they got rid of if he takes a year off. Anywhere he goes, he will be successful because unlike, I guess you could say, Bill Belichick, he's never kind of fashioned himself as the GM and kind of went up there. He's kind of always worked with those GMs. Him and Kevin, they've worked hand in hand and all that, right?
Yeah.
So he can fit in anywhere as long as he has a relationship with the GM and he doesn't have to be the GM. So he could go to Miami and do well, right? He could do obviously in Atlanta. He could anywhere, Arizona. He could go anywhere and turn it around. It's just a matter of, where he, fits in, I guess, personally, and then what they need talent wise, or what they have talent wise, and what they need inside their, their walls of their organization. So there's anywhere, all those teams that are open, just like John Harbaugh, all could work for him.
I mean, I would hate it, but Tennessee, give him a good young quarterback. Keep Jeffrey Simmons around as a leader in that clubhouse.
It'd be great for him.
I could see that working. Bring some discipline to Las Vegas. I mean, I think there's some young pieces there for him to work with. Arizona, that's a really tough division, but I think he would make it even tougher out there.
I'm going.
He's
to
not
Atlanta
going to the Browns. He's not going to the Ravens. I think Atlanta makes a lot of sense
because
too.
of the division.
Yeah,
and you can step right in and take that young, talented team with his leadership, with his coaching staff that he'll bring. He'll bring Danny Smith with him. He'll bring some of the guys that helped him win a lot of games and bring that structure down there. I mean, they already got Jeff Ulbrich down there, so he's a upcoming coordinator and up for some head coaching jobs.
Yeah,
and he can learn a lot under Mike Tomlin. It would be a really, really good recipe for success.
Cupskir's our resident Steelers fan, non-Aaron Davis division, says, I said all week, Jay, that if Tomlin lost, he was out or leaving. Playoff appearances don't mean crap if you don't win the games.
Yes, they do. To win a NFL game is a hard task. To win consistently and not be a loser is more than commendable. It's like legendary.
To not have a losing season in 19 years.
Yeah, and then also to get to the playoffs and understanding how you lose those playoff games, that means a lot. And it means you're a winning organization. Winning a Super Bowl, you have to have so many things go your way, and one of them is a lot of luck. You know what I mean? You look at the run that the Patriots went on. It's lucky that the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Bills all at the same time couldn't figure it out. Couldn't even get out of their own way.
Yeah.
To where they just kept running it back and running it back and running it back.
Kept sniffing the dog poop on the sidewalk side of the Flowers.
Right.
Not that hard.
It's the longest run in NFL history.
Yeah.
And now when you think about Pittsburgh in that type of division, though, you got to think. He's doing this while Kevin Stefanski's went to the playoffs twice. John Harbaugh's won a Super Bowl, went to the playoffs multiple times in Pittsburgh. And then on top of you had the emergence of the kind of flash in the pan of the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow going to the playoffs, let alone Marvin Lewis and Red Raider were consistently in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So he's withstood the competitiveness of that division for 19 years. That's why you don't win every single year, let alone Mahomes,
Allen,
right? So you're playing again. It's like when LeBron went from the East Coast, and remember when it was like the East was so hard to get out of the NBA, and then the West was easy. That's what it is, man. I mean, he was playing in the best division, in the best conference, and he was being very successful.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's our Mike Tomlin. Obviously, I'm sure he's probably on his way somewhere nice and warm, get his mind right. Eventually he'll land on his feet. Same with John Harbaugh. We'll take a quick break. We'll run through your texts on the way back. We'll talk a little transfer portal talk. I mean, because I think the Keanu Davis entry officially, should perk people's ears. And then obviously look at some of the other additions. Obviously LSU offensive lineman coming in, what that means for Nebraska's running attack and the future of the quarterbacks. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I am Harrison Arns, producer of Ticket Weeknights and Weekends right here at 93.7 The Ticket. My favorite things to do in downtown Lincoln are checking out all the local sports events, whether it's basketball, football, volleyball, or even Lincoln Stars hockey. I enjoy it all because I get to experience one of the best sports communities in the country.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to the Spring Equipment and Technology Clinic February 3rd through the 5th at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney. New this year, the planter and sprayer clinics are combined into one streamlined, hands-on event built around growers' time and needs. Get expert training on John Deere planters and sprayers on topics including maintenance, technology, and autonomy. Don't miss it. February 3rd through the 5th in Kearney. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for details.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies, and it will be breezy and colder. The afternoon high near 33. Tonight we'll see increasing cloud cover and light winds, a low around 20. And tomorrow we'll see partly sunny skies with a light breeze, a little warmer, the high near 45. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of January, because get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying. Let's sit around the table. Let's drop some plans. Let's put numbers together. Let's get a budget put together, and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines. Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with the bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G16518. 2,500 down with proof credit.
It's the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Come see trophy deer, hunting seminars, hunting and outdoor exhibitors, a 3D archery tournament, enter the blind giveaway, and more. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate, January 16th, 17th, and 18th. Learn more at NebraskaDeerandGameExpo.com and find them on Facebook. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th in Lincoln.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, second section, 5 o'clock hour, third hour, us bringing the news and the heat on this Wednesday, hump day. Be on the lookout about 6 o'clock. We got Lighthouse coming in, Bill Mitchner and everybody at the Lighthouse bringing in all the stuff that they do and good vibes. We'll read a couple texts here before we dive into the vortex of Nebraska. Thomas in Lincoln says, would Pittsburgh consider Harbaugh? I'm sure they consider him, but I doubt that'll happen. That'll be owners fighting amongst each other. It'd be different. It'd be funny if Harbaugh went to Pittsburgh and Tomlin went to Baltimore.
Here's the difference, though. Baltimore fired John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Tomlin stepped away
down
from Pittsburgh. Yeah. Does Pittsburgh still, retain the rights like Sean Payton style?
Yes, Pittsburgh does.
Okay,
Pittsburgh does.
So then Baltimore would have to trade for Tom, whereas Pittsburgh could just straight up sign Harbaugh.
And I wonder how many more years they have his rights, or is it only 1 year? So that'll let you know what he's going to do.
Well, I mean, in this case, let's say if they just have his rights through next year, at that point, don't you just fire him so you don't have to worry about it? This would tell me that he has a couple years left, because if he takes 1 year off and they still control his rights then for what would be the 2027 NFL season, that's how I would like it. I would keep those rights as long as I could and not fire the guy so that if someone does want to sign him, okay, we'll take 1 year pick, send one over.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll do right by Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a personal relationship, so it won't get testy or anything like that. And New Orleans was very easy to work with for Denver. So Cubsker says, so we're just lucky that we've lost the last 7 playoff games by double digits. See, that's what I thought. We lost the last 7 playoff games by double digits.
That's crazy.
No, I don't think you're lucky, but I also think you need to appreciate the consistency of winning. Trust me from experience. Being blessed with coming in and playing in a winning organization that was like Pittsburgh, want to win every year, drafted, developed to do so, and being friends with guys at other places and playing places where you knew they weren't trying to win, and you have a really good head coach and you understand how you can lose a playoff game by double digits based on how things can go. It's just, just understand how good he was as a coach. And so,
and that's the thing. I mean, we weren't saying Mike Tomlin was perfect.
No.
I mean, he didn't go undefeated. He made the most of some flawed rosters, to his credit, connected with a bunch of players, to his credit. And we mentioned how bad the offense has been and even the defensive shortcomings late in the year, right? Mike Tomlin has some stuff to figure out, which is where we hope that this year can be that for him, where he figures out, what's the modern NFL like? Who can I get in touch with that would come coach with me and help extend my career? But I'm glad you answered the way you did, because Cubsker, we love you. That's kind of an arrogant take.
Yeah.
It's kind of entitled. We're just in the playoffs every year, expect it. And I get wanting more. I get wanting a higher standard. We're not trying to say he's perfect. We're just saying, hey, Bo Pelini just walked away.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of the better coaches over the last, obviously, 19 years. And so you go through lulls, but he was able to battle through it. There's time where people were saying the same thing about Andy Reid, at different times in Philly, and obviously I'm sure Philly, obviously they've won a Super Bowl since, but all the success at Kansas City, I'm sure they're looking at each other like, you know what, Andy actually wasn't too bad. Big Red was pretty good.
Yeah.
Culligan J says John Gruden posted a picture of himself on a plane and asking where he's going. He's probably going down to an all-star game or something like that. I doubt that he's going to be back in the NFL coaching, considering he has $100 million lawsuit that he probably in line to get a big chunk of that.
Yeah.
I doubt Roger Goodell is going to want to see him down there at the NFL meetings.
The Shield is not allowed to happen.
Yeah.
Gruden might be throwing some rocks to the Shield, but the Shield is strong. They're just
I don't think it was the breakup when D'Amico Ryans was able to sue Houston based on some turf issues and win it, and kind of just did it under the radar. Now he's the head coach. John Gruden, that's going to be pretty nasty because he kind of ruined his career. Clantonio John says Pittsburgh could have drafted their quarterback last year, and that's true. They passed on everybody. They could have done a lot. And so that's on Tomlin and crew, and they probably wish that they kind of made a different decision. Speaking of different decisions, we'll flip to the portal, a.k.a. the vortex, which I'll say this, there's 10,000 people in the portal. I would be willing to bet 80% of them are forced in there by conversation. You can stay, probably not going to work out for you, but do what you like. But I'm just letting you know, you barely going to be out there in practice.
But you can stay if you want.
But you can stay. We're probably going to pull back on everything, but you can stay. And, for Nebraska, they had some movement even yesterday. Marcos Davila is at where did he end up going? He's a quarterback that came in from Purdue. He ended up, let me see where this is. Come on. Vortex.
Abilene
Christian.
Close to home.
And good. A chance for him to get some reps and play. And so that's what you want. You understand that as a quarterback. Maverick Noonan from Elkhorn South, legacy kid, kind of burst on the scene in Matt Rule's first year. Then obviously, battled a couple injuries and stuff like that, and in position and scheme change. And so he never really got to get started. He's going to be a good player out there for Fresno State because he's coached really well in high school, got a really good motor. I think he was healthy all year. So I think this is going to be this is one of those deals that it just didn't, it just kind of sucks with the timing, right?
Yeah.
Houston Torres, very, very impressive kid. Came in as a freshman and he came in as a center, can play every single position, leaving Nebraska, going to Michigan.
Yeah.
You're going to hear about him.
Mm-hmm.
Everything goes right. You're going to hear about him. He's going to be good.
He's not in Utah anymore, but Kyle Whittingham still has the Polynesian connection.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he lost it. Yeah,
No.
You don't lose that. So I think he's going to end up there. And then Nebraska, on a positive note, got Paul Mabinga, the starter from LSU right guard from LSU. Big old kid, 6'5", 317, probably could carry 330, in my opinion. Moves pretty decent. Just to get, probably just needs to get refined. That's what Coach Wade's going to do. I'm sure they've seen it and they like his starting experience. He can pull a little bit. I've seen him get up to the second level and does a good job of, kind of staying square on linebackers. And he's big enough to engulf them. Played against Houston, struggled a little bit with their quickness, but that's how Houston's defensive line plays. And so, he's a guy that you think plug and play, right? Plug and play. Now he's got to earn it.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to get better. But you have something, you got meat on the bone where you think you can develop and he can be a decent player.
I mean, you think you have 3 plug-and-play guys on that offensive line. You get Pritchett and Evans back from last year.
Yep.
You had Mabenga at left guard.
At right guard.
Brendan Black at right guard.
Well, Mabenga played right guard at LSU. So whatever.
So either way, your 2 guards out of the transfer portal, then Babalade from South Carolina.
Yeah, so you got
at right tackle.
Yeah, you got your some of it, these are the guys that you're just going to assume, and that's you assume it. But also, there's guys that behind, like whether it's Gunnar Gatula or it's Sledge, whether it's Peters or any of those guys,
Bricks,
Pile, all of this is where you right now is where you make up your ground, and then you got to force your way on, not only into the top 8-9 rotation, and then you really turn it up and get on the field and make them. Put you on the field and potentially start. So I think it's, the 5 guys you mentioned, you probably hope that they end up starting. And then by starting, I mean, not only do you have to be the best at your individual position, you got to be one of the 5 best as a group. You know what I mean? The continuity has to be there. So, there's still a work in progress. It's a whole new offensive line, 3 new guys coming in, 2 holdovers with a new coach, 2 new coaches. There's a lot of work to be had. So, then on the flip side, late yesterday, I think Keona Davis, or maybe Monday, officially, they post the email when they get in, or the little thing when he's in the portal. So that sucks because I think Keona Davis was somebody they wished, that they could either play inside or outside, has some position flexibility, but he's decided to at least put his name in the portal. He can withdraw. Obviously, we've seen other guys do so.
Like him.
Last year. But this is a year that, look, when you got a new defensive coordinator, like Jackie Chan said, you better tread water softly. You got a new defensive coordinator that's coming in, and he has a new eye of what he views as talent. You got a new defensive line coach, new edge coach. So you got to make sure that you make the best decision. Now, you might look at, if they view him as an edge, you got a lot of, build up there. A lot of guys at that edge position. So you go in the portal, you never know what the, what the deciding factor was, because I don't think Jashir Whittington coming in from Pittsburgh at 6 foot 270, 75 pushed him into the portal. I think it's more or less trying to play a position that he wants, and then obviously, get probably a little bit more playing time. Here, you got to compete with Cam Linhart, Williams Nwaneri,
Petchak, among others.
Yeah.
Now that Jones guy, Anthony Jones.
Anthony Jones, Willis McGahee's
back.
Right. So you got to see what, you're going to do. And so I understand it, but also would like to think like, all right, I can handle my business.
Right. And the question to me comes back to, why announce your intention to enter the portal and then hold off on actually entering? I mean, the best thing I can think of is twofold. Number one, the leverage play worked last year.
Yeah.
You went in or announced your intention and you didn't really want to leave. You just did it because your agent told you to. You got whatever money you got and you came back.
Yeah.
Or number two, that it is this late in the process. The names aren't cleared out, right?
Yeah.
There are still thousands of athletes looking for home
Right.
at this point. But do you think that maybe if you had entered right away, you get lost in the shuffle, you're just another name. Maybe now you can say, hey, look at me. I'm here. I played at Nebraska for a year and they really liked me the year before that. So maybe it's a way to just create some, later in the cycle hype for yourself.
Yeah, when things slow down and you kind of do it kind of like when Dylan committed, you kind of get a little bit more of the tread. But I'd like to think these kids, especially somebody that started, for a majority of last year, at least going in the portal for the right reasons, whether that you have a place to go or you just feel like you need to be in a better spot and get coached whatever certain way you deem that you need to be coached. So that's the movement on Nebraska's end. Obviously went heavy on the defensive backs. I think you look at another portal get with, Dylan Parrott. He didn't really play much, but he's a guy you got out of the portal, back out of the portal. So you got to put him in the portal class. And then the one interesting guy that's still in the portal, or two of them, is Kenneth Williams still in the portal. Now, are you tied with or Eckler or not? Or is it Eckler comes back, do you come back? Right? Or are you looking for a way to be a returner and a conventional ball carrier? That one's an interesting one. And then Braylon Prude is probably the most interesting. He's a safety, 6'4", 200, went in the portal and withdrew very quickly. So where does he fit in the mix? I know Sipple talked about him. He's a guy that they're pretty high on. Now you look at with McDougal, you look at Prude, and then you look at Guthrie coming back, Benning, and all those guys. And was it Rhett?
Yeah.
So all those guys coming in, that's 5 that I named for 3 safeties.
2.5 positions.
2.5 positions.
Yeah.
Along with special teams and anybody else that I might have missed. That is going to be one of the heated competitions come, springtime.
I just always find it fascinating when a coaching staff says they like a young guy. But what do you like him for? What do you like him in?
Yeah.
And I just go back to Jay. I think that this would be the year for Nebraska to, maybe not go get a guy like Dwayne McDougal. I get it. He knows Rob Wirtsch's scheme, veteran leadership and whatnot. He, to me, feels a little bit like Trey Neal did when Scott Frost first came in some ways.
Yeah, I remember him.
Leadership, knows the system, decent enough player who will be on the field.
Yeah.
And there's room for guys like that, locker room guys, clubhouse guys, coaches on the field. But I still think 2026 is the year for Nebraska to see what they have in some of these young guys, right? You put Guthrie out there at the end of the year. If you like what Prude can do, maybe is more of the field safety, fine, throw him in there. Let's see what he's got. And if he's good, hey, guess what? You were right. If he's not, well, okay, now let's one more position that we need out of the transfer portal next year. Again, it's hard to pass up on guys with experience in a new scheme to help teach. But if you like guys like Braylon Prude, you have a better shot at keeping them if you play them instead of giving them empty promises to play them, because then you'll just go through this whole rigmarole and not have a chance to keep him next year if he doesn't play.
Yeah, it's the same thing at linebacker. When you think of the name that pops in mind is Dawson Merritt, right?
Yeah.
The guy that, so it's the juice to squeeze, but also think like you create some competition. The guys that are, meant to play should play. And then also that, just because the older guys might roll out there as starters, the young guys will play.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. You got to continue to reload your program. You got to develop in this vortex, in this quick development era of college football. And that's what you want. You want veterans to come in to kind of do the on-the-job teaching while the young guys take it and then run with it, all while both of them working, correctly together. And that's a hard thing to do, but that's what you have to do. Anyways, we got to take a quick break, come back, put a bow on this bad boy. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, we'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home, by the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of January, because get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying. Let's sit around the table. Let's drop some plans. Let's put numbers together. Let's get a budget put together, and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at lincolnairport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to the Spring Equipment and Technology Clinic February 3rd through the 5th at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney. New this year, the planter and sprayer clinics are combined into one streamlined, hands-on event built around growers' time and needs. Get expert training on John Deere planters and sprayers on topics including maintenance, technology, and autonomy. Don't miss it. February 3rd through the 5th in Kearney. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for details.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Quick segment, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. Put the bow on this bad boy on this hump day. Amazing how the darkness came in about 45 minutes. But
You're just so excited about the sunlight.
I was.
And it's gone.
Yeah, and it's gone. Psych. Old Dad 34, how do we keep back is my worry. Well, there's nothing we can do. So
Hope and pray.
Yeah, hope and pray.
Go to church if you haven't in a while.
Yeah, do that. Eat clean or whatever. Big day. Obviously, a lot going on in sports. Obviously, Mike Tomlin stepping down obviously was huge, and obviously has some stuff going on in Huskerland. More importantly, the basketball team is on and popping, rolling. Sounds like the ticket crew or some of the ticket crew would be in Evanston. It'll be interesting to see, their vibes, coming from them being on the site. And then obviously NCAA news, we're just inching towards. Obviously, we haven't even been able to touch on the Hurricanes against the Hoosiers, and we'll dive into that tomorrow and Friday.
Well, breaking news out of college basketball, they adopt one portal window as well.
They have one portal window for them, potentially also for football. Instead of 4 games, they get to play 9. I mean, are you kidding me? You might as well just do 5 for 5, or
it's not approved
6
yet.
for 5. It's going.
So got to be ratified.
Or you might as well just I will say this before we go. It's maybe a good way that you can still retain your roster. That way you don't have former 4-star recruits that redshirt at Texas getting free agent deals to go somewhere else. That way you're like, hey, dude, you played in 9 games. Your future is bright. We'll take care of you here. So hopefully that works out. But what worked out for us, another great show. Appreciate you guys supporting and texting in. Big shout out to Graham Tire as well. Always appreciate their support. Jay Foreman, my man Austin Orman. We'll holler at you tomorrow.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to the Spring Equipment and Technology Clinic February 3rd through the 5th at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney. New this year, the planter and sprayer clinics are combined into one streamlined, hands-on event built around growers' time and needs. Get expert training on John Deere planter